Yes, thank you very much, Lasher Luke. Now, and Alex Stewart and Oscar Tidd. Yes, I have people who are following and listening to me. That's a very good sign. Now, so for those of you who are here early, I'll just wait a minute before we get properly started, just to give more people time to find the live stream if they haven't already. I don't know if this appeared in people's subscription boxes or if you're here from Twitter or Facebook or wherever. Let me know how you knew about this live stream, just so I know how's the best way to promote it or how's the best way to put it forward. But here, as you can probably see from the window, I'm using Visual Boy Advance, which is a Game Boy Advanced emulator for my PC. Got a notification waiting for my video to render and upload whilst watching your video. Twitter, but it's in my subs. Okay, good. It's appeared in people's sub boxes. Great stuff. The reason there was not a fun thumbnail was because I did a quick thing. This is actually done through Google Hangouts through a screen share function. So basically, I've got it so that Google Hangouts is broadcasting a single window that I have open, which is Visual Boy Advance. Raf K asks, "What's your thoughts on the rate of parsnip agriculture in the UK?" I don't know. I feel like that should be an Alan Partridge question, like the pedestrianisation or like the use of the car parks in Norwich city centre or something. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up this. I'm going to start up Pokemon Ruby just for fun. Let me know how the sound levels are as well. If you can hear the game okay, but it's not to the fact that it's overpowering my audio. And we'll just have a little bit of fun. Dean Jones says, briefly wanted to say hello, got a YouTube notification. I'm currently watching The Last Jedi for Star Wars Day. Hooray. Yeah, may the 4th be with you, everybody. May the 4th be with all of us. Gil Hermy Deretti says, "What, Nuzlocke again?" Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do like a full Nuzlocke of this playthrough, but I think it would just be a lot of fun to do, just randomly to test out the live stream as well, because it's something I'm wanting to do in the future. I was kind of inspired by doing the Movie Mania podcast recently, where we did a live stream for about 2 hours, and that was a hell of a lot of fun. And are you all hearing the game audio? Please let me know if you are. That would be great. If it's muted, that's an issue. I don't know how I'd resolve it, but we'll just press on through anyway. Pokemon Ruby version. I've never played Ruby. I always had Sapphire growing up. The internal battery. Okay, Alex Stewart says he cannot hear the game. I'll see if I can just increase the volume and see if that does anything. However, clock-based... Okay, yeah, because I'm playing this off an emulator, there is no internal battery for the device. New game. Okay, Alex Jones says, me neither. Right, let's see if I can... Give me a moment. I'm going to see if I can get the audio from the thing as well. I do apologize for this. Like I said, this is more of a test run than anything. This will be freeze-framed for a minute. As I type and I furiously Google all the stuff. Okay. Right, let's try this. Oh no, where's it gone? Bear with me. I'm just trying to sort this out. Okay. Communications. Okay, that might have done it. If y'all could just... I will talk about Infinity War in a minute, but let's just see if I can get this audio working. How about now? I'll just leave this music playing for a moment, then you folks can let me know if the audio is coming through. If not, I may just have to unplug my headphones and just deal with it another way. Right. I'm trying to figure out a way to do this without completely destroying the live stream. Microphone. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug my headphones and we'll just have to deal with this. And if you folks don't like the audio, then we'll just deal with it another way. Okay. Let me know if that audio is fine or if you'd like me to turn it down. Okay, welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. This is what we call a Pokemon, and it's Azumarill? I think, no, is that the name of the baby? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've played this generation. I don't have the nostalgia for it like I did Red and Blue. We humans live alongside Pokemon at times as friendly playmates and at times as cooperative workmates. And sometimes we band together. I dropped my microphone and battle others like us. But despite our closeness, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are many, many secrets surrounding Pokemon. To unravel Pokemon mysteries, I've been undertaking research. That's what I do. And you are. Okay, folks. Are you a boy or a girl? I'm going to let the chat vote. You have like 10 seconds to vote, and then I'm just going to go for the majority. So, hammer boy or hammer girl in the comment section in the chat, and we'll go with that. And I think the rest will just go for a coin flip in future if there is a simple two-option thing. Oscar says gender neutral. Unfortunately, this game is not quite as progressive as as it should be. So, girl, potato. So that'll be 555 as potato. Lord Starfish votes for girl. That's 2. Matthew, okay, Groot. That's not an option, but we can always name Pseudo-Wudo if we catch it, Groot. Okay, we have a few joke answers, but the most real answers are girl. So, tell you what, we're going to go for a girl. All right, what's your name? Okay, just to make this easy, I'm going to call myself Trilbee. And we'll try and think of a fun name to call our rival. When is Trilbee even going to fit? It does. Oh, Jody, that would have been a good pick. Oh, that's all right. A good suggestion, Oscar. We're just going to try and set my microphone back where it was. Hopefully that works okay. Okay, you're Trilbee, who's moving to my hometown of Littleroot. I get it now. You can't name the rival who's always Brendan. Shit, I forgot. We'll get it, we'll figure it out. Very own adventure is about to unfold. Take courage and leap into the world of Pokemon where dreams, adventure, and friendships await. Well, I'll be expecting you later. Come see me in my Pokemon lab. Bloody Brendan. Oh god, this has started off as a hostage situation. Help, I'm trapped in the back of a van. Oh, cool. My captors have let me out. Trilby, we're here, honey. You must have been tired riding with our things. What? Okay, right. I do not see anyone getting out of that van, implying that there was a passenger seat. How do you like it? This is our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room, Trilby. Let's go inside. Trilby, isn't it nice in here too? The movers Pokemon do all the work of moving us in and cleaning up after. So this is so convenient. Oh, so these aren't Pokemon we battle with. These are just outright slaves. Right, so your room is upstairs. Dad brought you a new clock to mark our move here. Don't forget to set it. Oh, great. Is that all Dad got us? Bloody okay. Clock. Oh, he also got us a GameCube. The clock has stopped. Better set it and start it. Okay, the time right now is 9 p.m. UK time. So just for fun, I'm going to set it to that. There, that would do. Oh, that was quick. Trilby, how do you like your new room? Good, everything's put away neatly. This is not my room, way too neat. Okay, so GameCube. It's a Nintendo GameCube. A Game Boy Advance is connected to service controller. Although I'm on my computer playing this game, so right, boot up the PC. Is there a potion in here? There is. Yes. Okay, so I got a potion. Once we get into the meat of the game and we start like moving to the route, I'll take just questions from the chat and talk about Infinity War since that seems to be what everyone wants out. I won't go into any spoilers just in case anyone is in the chat who has not watched it. Ah, we missed out on TV. Oh, so yeah, because in this one, your dad's a Pokemon gym leader, and all he could get you was a bloody clock. Right. By the way, who do you think played Dumbledore better in Harry Potter, Richard Harris or Michael Gambon? It's not quite fair to say because Richard Harris got 2 films, whereas Michael Gambon got 6. But I like both interpretations. I like Richard Harris as the more kindly, soft-spoken Dumbledore that the first 2 films kind of need. But later on, yeah, like Oscar's saying, I don't know if Richard Harris would have been able to pull off some of the more action-heavy segments, like the end of Order of the Phoenix or the end of Half-Blood Prince. Oh, it's Brendan. Except I'd love to have called him Moffat like the previous rival, but I guess Brendan will have to do. I didn't know that you're a girl. Is a gym leader's kid, so I assumed to be a guy. Oh, this guy is clearly uh, one of those. He probably has YouTube blogs. Right. I steal a potion from his computer. Email from Pokemon Trainer School. This guy's a complete novice. Right. There's one thing we need to get out of the way, and that is find out what our starter Pokemon is going to be. Because if I recall correctly, I go up here to select the starter Pokemon, and I won't be able to check the trainer ID. So typically what happens in a Nuzlocke, because you don't really get to choose the Pokemon you get, is that you look at your trainer ID, and if it's 1 to 3, you get the grass type. If it's 4 to 6, you get the fire type. And if it's 7 to 9, you get the water type. And if it's 0, we get to pick. So if it's 0, I will let the chat pick. But if it's anything else, we have to go for it. So if I go on Trilbee, the last digit is 6, meaning we get the fire type. We get Torchic. We get Torchic, folks. That's pretty cool. I can hear someone shouting down the road here. What should I do? What should we do? Somebody has to go help. Help me. Hello, you over there. Please help. In my bag, there's a Pokeball. Surely there should be a gun or something. Right. The Wood Gecko Pokemon Trico, the Chick Pokemon Torchic, and the Mudfish Pokemon Mudkip. The Nuzlocke has decided that we get the Torchic. And we also get to nickname it at the end of this, because part of the Nuzlocke is that you have to nickname Pokemon. So in the chat, please suggest names for Torchic. The best one gets picked. And also, I think Super Chat is enabled on this as well. So those who Super Chat get priority, but of course, you are not obligated to at all. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, please put your nickname suggestions in the comment section. A female Torchic level 5. Let's scratch this fucker's eyes out. Easy done. Herbs and spices if there's enough room. Also, once again in the chat, let me know if the audio levels are fine, if you'd like me to turn the game up a bit more, if you'd like me to turn it down. I really have no way to tell from where I sit. It's not the place to chat, so let's come by my Pokemon lab later. So, Trilbee, I've heard so much about you from your father. I've heard that you don't have your own Pokemon yet, but the way you battled earlier, you pulled it off with a plump. I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. That's my personal business, sir. Yes, thanks for rescuing me. I'd like you to have the Pokemon you used earlier. Trilbee received the Torchic. So, folks, names and nicknames. I'll turn the game up a touch at the request of Alex Stewart. So yeah, folks, please let me know if you would like what Torchwood. Okay, Oscar Tid has suggested Torchwood. If anyone else can come up with a better name, say it now. I don't think you can. Chris says Diana. That can't top Torchwood. Torchic McTorchic face. Okay, I'm going to start typing Torchwood, and if another name has not been suggested by the time I do it, we're going for Torchwood. Alan, that's a good suggestion. Zarby 555. Yeah, Torchwood will fit. Simpson, since they chickened out to make any kind of good argument on the Apu matter, That's a good reasoning. If we get another chicken type Pokemon, I don't know if there is one, but okay, Torchwood going once, going twice, going for Torchwood. That's a cool name. Oscar Tid, you've won the chat for this one. My kid Brendan is out on Route 103 studying Pokemon. It might not be a bad idea for you to go see Brendan. What do you think? No. Oh, don't be that way. You should go meet my kid. No. Oh, but he. Okay. So as we go up the route, I'll take some questions from the chat. Dean Jones asks, thoughts on the Pokemon movies? I've only seen the first movie from 1999. I remember getting a trading card at my town's public hall at the screening. Yeah, I remember. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, Lord Starfish has asked us to check Torchwood's nature. I'm in the wrong department. Summary. Hardy, much like Captain Jack Harkness, ups fire moves in a pinch. So if we get into the red in our HP, the fire moves get an added boost by 1.5, I think. I think that's it. But yeah, Dean, I've seen about 7 or 8 of the Pokemon movies all the way through. I've seen clips of, I think, all of them. But the best movie is easy Pokemon 3. Spell of the Unknown, the one with the Entei in it. Okay, I just want to clarify, we've not got Pokeballs yet. So there's no way we can catch anything, meaning that this encounter does not count with the Nuzlocke. Because normally the rules of the Nuzlocke are the very first Pokemon we encounter in a route will be the one we have to catch. And I'm also operating on Duke's Clause, meaning that if we catch, let's say, a Wurmple, and then in the next route we encounter a Wurmple, it means that we have to skip to the next Pokemon and we get another shot. So yeah, in terms of the Pokemon movies, the third one is pretty good. It's got really good themes, good animation. Entei is a terrific anti-hero villain. It's actually a good film that, in my opinion, genuinely does hold up. And according to Lord Starfish, Hardy, the nature that Torchwood has got, boosts no stats and lowers no stats. So yeah, that does okay. Omega31 said, how familiar with Pokemon are you? So have you played all Pokemon generations? The last generation I played was X and Y. I've also not played Black and White or Black and White 2 or the most recent one. I can't remember what the most recent generation was called, but yeah, that one has passed me by because I've I've not really had much time for regular gaming, which is really annoying. Chris says, do you still have time to watch TV shows like Westworld, etc.? If yes, what are you currently watching? I'm currently watching Kunk on Britain, which is the Charlie Brooker comedic history mockumentary that's on BBC One at the moment, or is it BBC Two? I can't remember. But it's it's Philomena Kunk, who is a frequent character of like Charlie Brooker's work, does a pseudo historical show, and it's terrific. It's really funny, genuinely educational as well. And I forget the performer's name, the actress who plays Philomena Kunk, but she's so funny in the show. Casey Review says that the generation is Sun and Moon, the most recent one that I've completely passed by. So, okay. I may have bit off a bit more than I could chew with this if it's a level 3. Okay, I should be okay. Hey, don't miss. I don't want to, don't Torchwood to end. Oscar Tits is highly anticipating the dubs for My Hero Academia Series 3. Yeah, they finally got around to dubbing episode 1. For those of you who don't know, episode 1 of My Hero Academia was not ready in time for the Japanese dub of episode 1. So they just went ahead and broadcast episodes 2, 3, and 4, and then they got around to doing episode 1. So it's a weird order. But yeah, episode 4 that was on last week blew my bloody mind. That was such a great episode, such a terrific ending climax to the episode. Right, so I still can't get any Pokeballs. Can I go to the Pokemart and get some? Okay, no, I can't. Right, I'll just buy a couple of antidotes just to be safe. And let's get some potions too. Don't want to be caught in a tough spot. I also apologise for any traffic you may hear outside. Chris says, by the way, you really helped me out with my homework with that Patreon answer. It was the best part of my portfolio. Yeah, Chris asked for basically just asked me a question regarding the TV industry, the media industry on Patreon. I answered it for his portfolio, and I'm glad it went well. I hope you got good feedback. I hope the rest of the portfolio went really well, and I'm glad that I could help. Dean Jones says, I haven't played a single Pokemon game since Sapphire. If I ever get a 3DS, I'd like to get back into the series. I would hold off until E3 this summer. Let's see if anything gets announced in regards to a Pokemon game on the Switch, because Nintendo's reasoning for never having a game like this, a full main series Pokemon game on the consoles, is that they are meant to be handheld experiences. They're meant to be social. You're meant to go out and about. Focus energy. That's a technique we don't want or need. But yeah, Nintendo say that the Pokemon series is meant to be about going out and socializing with the link cables or with Wi-Fi and battling and trading and such. With the Nintendo Switch, you can do that now. So I'm assuming that they're going to release some sort of main Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. That is if you have a Switch. I don't know everyone's like gaming preference or what consoles they own. If you were thinking of getting into Pokemon in a big way, maybe wait until E3 and see what Nintendo announces in regards to the mainline Pokemon series. I'm going to get Torchwood to level 8, and then we're going to battle Brendan, because I know that Brendan, the twat, he's up here. Omega31 asks, I'll just go ahead and ask first, what are your favorite Pokemon? I have a soft spot for Torkoal. I don't know why. I just really like Torkoal. And I would love in this Nuzlocke, if we do take it further, to catch a Torkoal, although we do have Torchwood. So I don't know how useful that fire type will be on the team. One more battle, and that should get us up to level 8, and then I'll feel confident battling Brendan, because we do not want to lose in the first match. But to further elaborate on Chris's question earlier, do you still have time to watch TV shows? What are you currently watching? I'm trying to think what I'm currently watching. Oh, by the way, I put it on my Facebook and Twitter, but on BBC Two later this month, I think it's March 17th, I could be wrong, but £1 Million Menu is going to be showing on BBC Two, and that's a program that I actually worked on, and you may actually see me in the program as well, so check that out. Also, what I'm currently watching, I've watched Gogglebox on Friday nights as good like background music. I like watching Ambulance and basically Channel 4 documentaries because they do some terrific factual television. Mainly because factual TV is like the UK's bread and butter of the TV industry, because it's so much cheaper to make, and you can potentially export it to other markets much more easily. Because the UK in TV doesn't really have the budget to do shows like Game of Thrones and Westworld all the time. Like you'll get one every so often, like Humans or Doctor Who or something along those lines. But it's not gonna be nearly the regularity like you would on American TV, because the budgets just aren't there. So that's why you get so much factual stuff. AC Review says, since the MCU is fresh in our minds, what is your favorite MCU movie and why? PS, loved your review of Iron Man for a while back. Yeah, I've been meaning to re-update those Avengers reviews and do the Incredible Hulk. I love Incredible Hulk. It's one of my favorites, but it's not my favorite. It's probably Avengers is probably my favorite one. Oscar Kid says, check out Lost in Space. I've been meaning to. I've also been meaning to finish Star Trek Discovery. I started it, got 3 or 4 episodes in, really liked it. I just never got around to carrying it on, and I would really like to because I enjoyed it. Right, let's kick the shit out of Brendan. Madkip. Right. Scratch his eyes out. Holy shit, he actually did it. Oh, okay. So we each got a crit in, but that was really good. 2 hits. Which we gained 69 experience points. That is very Jack Harkness. Okay. Player defeated Brendan. Trilbee, you're not too shabby. For a go! I think I get it. I think I know why my dad has his eye out for you now. That's just creepy. Look, your Pokemon already likes you, even though you just got it. Jesus, Brendan has put you kid. That's that's probably not funny, but I found that really funny. That tickled me. Yes, if we kick the shit out of this Zigzagoon, we'll grow one more level, and we'll have a level 9 Torchwood. Yeah. Have you tried Did Thanos Kill.me? I haven't. I don't want to do it now because I don't want to interrupt or break the live stream, but I'll give it a go later on. But I do love the Thanos memes for the ending of Infinity War where people are fading away. Like I've seen some really funny ones. I think the funniest one is the live action Shaggy from the Scooby Doo movies. I forget the actor's name, but yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Nathan Snyder says Mudkip is my favorite starter. Mudkip was my one of choice when I first played Pokemon Sapphire. I have memories of the very first time I played Pokemon Sapphire. Was this 2013? So I would have been 11 years old, and yeah, would have been 11 years old, and I was about to go on holiday to Spain, I think. I can't remember. It was somewhere in Europe, in a hot European country. It was Spain, and I remember bringing my Game Boy Advance, and I got Sapphire. My brother got Ruby because for the first 3 generations of Pokemon, we alternated on to like which type. He got first choice, and I would get second because he was my older brother. And we would play Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire on holiday as we were going on the airport, as we were going on the plane, we were traveling, things like that. And I even remember getting while I was away on holiday, getting a sketchbook and some felt tip pens. It was those weird magic felt tip pens when you would draw, like say, just you draw a box and then you fill in the box with that color, and then you get a different pen and then you type the letter, not type, you write the letter A, and then it would like fade in. It was like one of those weird magic markers, and yeah. And according to the chat, Matthew Lillard played Shaggy in the live action films, and he voices the animated versions. That's random. Oh, Joey, why were you talking to that kid? You're your father's child. Yes, that's how that works. And I got running shoes. Oh, they came with instructions. What shoes come with instructions? And yes, Oscar, you're right. That was written by James Gunn. And I don't think the live action Scooby Doo is horrible from my recollection. Although, bear in mind, I've not watched it since it was out on DVD. But I don't remember it being horrible. Okay, so I'm going to heal up. Look at me go. Okay, folks, this is when the Nuzlocke truly begins because I can now catch Pokemon. I have a bag full of balls and I'm ready to use them. Route 101, what are we going to catch? What will be the first catch of the Nuzlocke? Poochyena! Okay, folks, start thinking of nicknames for Poochyena. It's the male Poochyena. Okay, I can't attack it again because I will kill it. So let's hope this works. Phew! I was worried then because I remember in Fire Red and Leaf Green, yellow stars would come from the ball when you caught it, but that didn't happen then. So I was wondering, wait, am I getting 3 shakes and nothing? At first sight, Poochyena takes a bite at anything that moves. This Pokemon chases after prey until the victim becomes exhausted. However, it may turn tail if the prey strikes back. Okay. Just looking, Scooby is coming up a lot, and I think that's appropriate considering what we were talking about. Baskerville from Casey Reviews suggests Baskerville. I think that's a really good one. I am going to flip a coin on Scooby and Baskerville because I think those are both. Oscar suggested Lupin, but I believe was it Oscar who chose Torchwood. So I don't want to go for two people in a row. I want to give the chat a lot of chances. So I'm going to flip a coin. You'll only have my word for this, but heads will be Scooby and tails will be Baskerville. Flipping the coin. Baskerville. Baskerville wins. Tails got the one. Will that fit? Baskerville. Baskerville won't fit. Baskerville won't fit unless we get rid of an L. So it'll be Baskerville. Do we still want to go for Baskerville if it's Baskerville? Because Baskerville won't fit. Have I counted that wrong? Baskerville. Yeah, where it doesn't. Does it? Acreville. I don't think it fits. Yeah, it doesn't fit unless we go for Baskerville. Acreville. Baskerville. Is there any way we can? Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, I think we'll just go for 2 L's. Baskerville. Yeah, Baskerville. We'll go for Baskerville. Okay, yeah, so let's check its nature for fun. Quirky. Yeah, that sounds like a Sherlock Holmesian. Runaway makes escaping easier. That's good. In case we need to get out of a tight spot. Baskerville, yeah. Yeah, the E is silent anyway in Baskerville, so that works out. Right, so let's get Baskerville up a couple of levels. And yeah, while we let's hope he's seasons 1 to 3 Sherlocky. I agree with you, Oscar. I hope that as well. Oh, Baskerville. Let's see how you do. Not great. I was hoping for more. Yeah, Lord Starfish, you seem to be our Pokemon professor in this chat. Quirky is also a neutral nature. Well, I guess there are 6 natures that do nothing, so it's not that implausible you'd get 2 in a row. I do have my phone on standby in case I wanted to check Bulbapedia for anything, which is essentially the Wikipedia equivalent of like the Pokemon equivalent of Wikipedia. One thing I can do, because this is an emulator, is that I can speed up the process. Like, I can do this, but if I don't know if you folks want me to do that, to like just skip my way through some of the grinding. Let me know, please, in the chat. I'll do it for a little bit, just for a minute. Of course, it also speeds up the audio. Basketball's level 4. I don't know if it. Oh, memory worm. That's a good one, Oscar. That's a good if we do get a worm pull. Oh no, don't want to do that. Mark Ruffalo. These are funny names. These are good. Yeah. Oh, you can take out level 4 one, right? Aha. Yeah, Bark Ruffalo. That's a good one, Alex. K9 and Company. Why are you guys? Why are you guys coming up with great names now? Where were you like 5 minutes ago? Not that there's anything wrong with Baskerville at all. That's also a terrific name, but I think we only had like 2 or 3 suggestions at the time, and now they're all coming in thick and fast. Why do you call it a hound? Genius takes time. Also, I do apologize, chat. I do apologize if I sniff. I have got terrible hay fever. I normally don't get it. I'm normally fine. Oh, Oscar Tid he suggested Hound, as in H.O.U.N. That's really good. If we do for some reason get another Pucciana, I don't know how, we could do that one. Clockwork Harley Quinn. Okay, time to work on my pun game. Yes, you'll have got like maybe 5 or 10 minutes before we get to the next route and start catching new Pokemon. So okay, I'm gonna start fast forwarding a little bit just to, and then once we get Pucciana to say level 5, sorry, Baskerville. Once we get Baskerville to say level 5, then we'll move on to. Oh, he's already at level 5. He learned Howl. Let's just say to fill out some time. Let's just say level 6. This probably takes the fun out of Nuzlocking, but it's just the initial grinding phase. Oscar Tid, do you write stand up? You can skip the early episodes of Torchwood, it's fine. So Howl, you be using that new move. Alex, stuff it. You're making me laugh. Okay. Gonna get back to the Pokemon Center in a minute. Ha. Countryside is the first great episode of Torchwood TV. I think so. Yeah, I think that's the first great one. There are good ones before that. Like I think the first 2 episodes are fine as is. Like they're not great TV, but they're fine. But the early episodes of Torchwood, like, well, it never really shook this reputation up until the end of series 2, where they were like, okay, we can do adult sci-fi. Adult means swearing. Adult means sex. Adult means tits. Whereas adult themes actually mean stuff like, say, um, Children of Earth and stuff like Countryside, where you are dealing with these like murderous cannibals who only do it because it makes them happy. When you do have much more like mature themes as opposed to just the idea of maturity, Torchwood got much better. Okay, level 6. Nathan, he says I could never get into Torchwood. Did you try watching Children of Earth at all? Because if you don't like Torchwood and you've not watched Children of Earth, I do recommend watching Children of Earth because that is some terrific TV. And it's not so thoroughly linked to the previous continuity of Torchwood that you can't, like, you can understand it. Okay, we're in Route 103. Yeah, it's a new route, so we can catch a new Pokemon. We got a Zigzagoon. Level 3 female Zigzagoon. Okay, folks, start coming up with more nickname ideas. And yeah, Oscar, yeah, Peter Capaldi was in that, and he was really good in it. Okay, right, I've been growled at twice, so if I attack it again, it means that I shouldn't kill it unless I get a critical. Okay. Right, let's catch Zigzagoon. Start coming up with those names, folks. Clockwork Harley Quinn. Hopefully, you have been practicing your puns. Rocket Raccoon. Yes, you both came up with that at the same time. Rocket Zagoon. Zigzagoon restlessly wanders everywhere at all times. This Pokemon does so because it is very curious. It becomes interested in anything that it happens to see. Trash Panda. That's that's a funny one. Give a nickname. Yeah. I'm voting Rocket. And when referring to Rocket, we should try and come up with Rocket Zagoon whenever we can and use Rocket as the abbreviation because it just won't fit. So Rocket, though Trash Panda was good, I'm not sure if it would have fit. Okay, let's take a look at our new Rocket. That sounds wrong. Impish may pick up items as well. Oh, by the way, do any of you folks follow James Gunn, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Do you follow him on Twitter? Because he's been retweeting and responding to people sending jokish videos of raccoons in the wild and saying, how are you getting a hold of this Infinity War footage? Really funny stuff. 1 second, something has just popped up. I need to, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming we aren't allowed Infinity spoilers in names. Preferably not. If it's really, really funny, I may allow it, but or really fitting or really perfect, but only come up with them when the time for naming approaches. Don't just drop it in the chat just in case. Oh, Lord Starfish has given us a report. Impish is plus defense minus special attack, and in this game, pickup is hilariously overpowered. Okay, Lord Starfish, you're my Pokedex. I like this. This is cool. Okay, let's get Baskerville in here. So for Impish, plus defense, minus special attack. Not Baskerville, Rocket is not really going to have anything resembling like notable special attacks. It will mostly be physical attacks. So I think that's a good nature for Zigzagoon to have. Fast forward because he keeps stop growling at me. God, those experience points are going up so slowly. So much grinding. But yeah, KC Review says he never finished Torchwood, but to anyone who's seen it, did they ever mention that thing about Jack missing 2 years of his memory? I don't know if they did mention it, but it's never, to my knowledge, actually resolved. We never find out what happened. He keeps missing. There we go. Okay, can Rocket win a fight all on his own? Oh, nice. Very good. If anyone has more questions, sound off in the chat while we're doing some level grinding here. Okay, it's a 10% chance of picking up stuff after every battle, and in this game, said things have a 10% chance of being a full restore, a nugget, or a rare candy. That would be cool. Or an eye. That's funny. Level 10. Torchwood learned Ember. About bloody time. Let's see if I can do this. On this emulator, I'm not sure. How do I do it? I think there's a way to swap the moves on. I'm gonna just open up the menu, joypad. Here we go, configure. No, default joypad. Nope, I don't know what I'm doing. I think there's a way for me to swap the moves around if I press the select button, but I don't know what the select button is on this friggin' thing. No, I'll live. I'll live. I'll live without it. Um, Clockwork Harley Quinn. No, I've not played any Persona games, although I have heard great things about it. I don't really have much time to um, like casually play a Japanese RPG of that nature. They are such a time sink, and I understand that's part of the appeal. But for my like day to day like workload, that's frustrating. Like for example, this week it was on Saturday. It was last Saturday. I thought, okay, what I'll do just for fun is I'll do like daily vlogs, like as in I'll film some material every day of the week and do like a week in the life of Trilbee thing. So I got to Saturday and it was fine. Got to Sunday and it was fine. And then Monday comes around and I get a call saying, Will, can you come in and do this job today? Because I do freelance runner work and freelance TV production work and third ADing and floor managing and things like that. So I often just get a call on the day. I just realized my cursor's on the top. Move that cursor. Um, and I was like, okay, well, I can't exactly bring my camera into work. So and then I do 2 days on that. And next thing I know, I've lost 2 days in this experiment. So that weekly video thing didn't pan out. I'd like to try it again. Yeah. Oscar Tid asks, have you seen Lindsay Ellis's new 3-part video essay on the problems with the Hobbit trilogy? Yeah, Lindsay Ellis's content is just overall some of the best movie content you can watch on YouTube. And the Hobbit trilogy video is terrific. I disagree with a lot of it in regards to the first 2 Hobbit films, because I love Unexpected Journey and I love Desolation of Smaug. However, what's it? Oren, you dick. There's one thing we need to win. That guy's Berry. But yeah, I love Desolation of Smaug and Unexpected Journey. However, a lot of the issues other people have with those 2 films, for me, they come home to roost in Battle of the Five Armies, which is easily the weakest of all of the Lord of the Rings movies, in my opinion. I love the adventurous feel and the fun, jovial tone of the first 2 films, and like the sequence in Desolation of Smaug when they're going down in the barrels, and there's that one long take when Bomber is just taking out all of the orcs. I love it. It's terrific. It just really appeals to me, and I understand it doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but for me, the first 2 Hobbit films really do work for me. It's just in the third one when all of the issues that many other people had, and the fact that this was meant to be 2 films and then it was stretched out into 3, it's really apparent and it's very noticeable. See, I like the gold statue. I like that. I like the climax of Desolation of Smaug. Wingle, we could have had a Wingle. I mean, no offense, Rocket, but come on. Um, yeah, I like the climax of Desolation of Smaug a lot, and I watched the extended version of both of those films. I've not watched the extended version of Battle of the Five Armies, but the extended versions, in my opinion, are weaker films because they feel so padded, and they go on for so long, as opposed to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, when the extended cuts, in my opinion, are superior versions because they feel more complete. It's a bit like I really like I am a defender of the new Ghostbusters movie. However, I will fully and freely admit that the extended version is not as good because the Ghostbusters film, Paul Feig's comedy, is an acquired taste. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to like the style of humor from Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and the rest of the cast. And when it comes to the extended version, when you add another 10, 15 minutes of that, it does start to push its limits. It does, in my opinion, become a weaker film. So if I'm introducing somebody to the new Ghostbusters film, it is the theatrical, shorter version that I introduced them to. Another Wingo. Actually, oh, Rocket has an item. What does he have? What is he holding? He's holding a super potion. Where did he pick that up? Nice. Press the wrong button. They're called Harbulary potions. I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 the other day. If I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have got that joke. But they're called Harbulary batteries. No, they're not. Yeah, he loots just like the real Rocket. As right, it's item. Take it away. Okay, so we've received the super potion back. Okay, I'm going to get Rocket up to level 6, and then we'll move on to the next route. Or is it route? Oh yeah, she. Yeah. We yeah, we both misgendered Zigzagoon. The scene with Smaug and Bilbo in the vault is my favorite scene out of the trilogy. Yeah, it's just terrific filmmaking, and regardless of the stuff surrounding it, if you look at just these standalone scenes, you can see why Peter Jackson is a phenomenal filmmaker. Come on, one more time. By Benedict Cumberbatch, like there's footage of him doing the motion capture for Smaug and getting absurdly into character, and it's a sight to behold. Let's heal up. I'm past it. Ha. If I suggested we call any Pokemon Miss Vanjie, would I be playing to the right crowd? You would, Clockwork Harley Quinn. I understand that reference. We'll have to see what comes up in the next route. Come on, take it down. One more battle, and then we'll move on to the next route. Or is it route? I don't care. Right. I hate it when Pokemon use the snaps all the time. You can play at that game. Oh, you get pronounced route because we are British. Fair enough. I'm gonna wag my tail at you. He's coming back. He's going back and forth here now. Stop it. Right. I know. Don't need a bag. Do. Here we go. Rocket Route to level 6. Okay. We're going to need some like grass or water Pokemon because I recall that the first gym in this game is what's her name, Roxanne, and she has rock Pokemon. We're not going to get very far with Torchwood, Rocket, or Baskerville. Okay, but folks, it's time to go to the next route. Yeah, Route 102, brand new route. Let's see what we can catch. The Wormhole. Someone suggested something really cool in the chat earlier with Wormpool, and I can't remember what it was. A British Buffoon asks, "Do you watch panel shows?" Sometimes it depends. I watch the. That's close. I watched like the year in like a year in review one. Memory Worm, that was the one. I can't remember if that will fit, but we can give it a go. Oh, you can catch your routes on this route as well, on this route, because that's what what's his face does. That would have been a cool get. But yeah, panel shows, not really my thing, but they're all right. Okay, Wurmple using the spikes on its rear end. Wurmple peels the bark off trees and feeds on the sap that oozes out. This Pokemon's feet are tipped with suction pads that allow it to cling to glass without slipping. Uh, I also just remembered Wurmple will transform or evolve into either a Beautifly or a Dustox. Do we still want to go with Memory Worm, considering the fact that Wurmple will not be a worm for for most of its lifespan? Do we still want to go for Memory Worm? Kanye. I don't know why that's funny. I'll put in Memory Worm now, and if any other suggestions come up, will Memory Worm fit? Yes, it will. Yeah, Memory Worm will fit. Hey, anybody? Does anyone object to Memory Worm? Going once? Going twice? No, let's go for Memory Worm then. Okay. If we had a Beautifly, we could have called it Miss Vanjie, but we just don't know that for sure. We have to name a Pokemon the hybrid. Shit! I didn't know he was a trainer. Youngster Calvin. Bring it on, Calvin, you git. I don't think what Pokemon could be the hybrid. Off my head, I'm not sure what it could be. Yes, critical. Oscar asks, who was the hybrid in the end? I've blocked that one out. The hybrid was basically the Doctor and Clara as two individuals, as just a team. So not a hybrid at all. Okay. Yeah, go Rocket. Yeah, the hybrid was terrible. There was the whole idea of the Doctor being in the confession dial because he knows what the hybrid is, and that yeah, yeah, the Doctor did leave Gallifrey out of fear of the hybrid apparently, but yeah, in Heaven Sent, he's put in the Time Lord confession dial because the Time Lords want him to reveal who the hybrid is, but then the Doctor's like, oh, the hybrid is a secret that must be kept. That is why I'm not going to tell anybody anything. And then it turns out he doesn't know who the hybrid is. So when he's in the confession dial, why couldn't he just say, I don't know. I genuinely, legitimately do not know what the hybrid is. Can you please let me out of the confession dial? But it never happens. It's so dumb and it just makes Heaven Sent irrelevant. Ah, you missed. Our eyes met. I'll take you on with my bug Pokemon. Oh god. I think we were a bit outclassed here, Memory Worm. KC Review says, funny thing is, I saw an interview with Steve Moffat where he said that Heaven Sent is one of his favourite episodes, but he's not sure fans like it. Hellbent wasn't mentioned as a favourite. I think fans love Heaven Sent. I think most people love Heaven Sent. It was nominated for a Hugo Award as well, although interestingly, it was nominated for a Hugo Award, but Hellbent wasn't, which I think is quite telling. But yeah, from what I can tell, fans and critics adore the episode. It's just that when you pair it with Hellbent and the rest of series 9, it just doesn't hold up. Really dropped the microphone again. It's because I'm not near my normal setup. What did I think of Infinity War? I thought it was terrific. I thought I did like a 2-hour podcast with the Movie Mania podcast. You can watch that on Bandit Incorporated channel. We talked about it for like an hour and a half and went full spoilers and everything. Really liked it. It was really ambitious and really fun. Great time. I want to rewatch it because I saw it opening weekend at an Odeon. I got a poster with it. I got a Guardians of the Galaxy poster. What the shit is that thing? Surskit. I think we found our Miss Vanjie. Is it a threat? I use bubble. Oh shit! Memory Worm, get out of there! Oscar says we got Lego with you. That sounds pretty cool. But Chris says Capaldi deserved better stories. Would have loved to have seen him for one or half a season under a different showrunner. Yeah, likewise as well. And it became more apparent because Capaldi is such a damn fine actor because he was so terrific in the role, and we've seen him in so many other things and just how great he can be. So it made his tenure in a way all the more disappointing. Yeah, he's saying like how I feel right now in terms of just having really bad hay fever. Zigzagoon. Fast forward because I'm a terrible cheating person. Rocket's got something else. What is he holding? What is he holding? An Ultra Ball. I love this guy. Memory Worm. Memory Worm learned Poison Sting. It'll give you poison and make you forget you've got it so you don't receive treatment. Haha. And yeah, the people who are saying like Infinity War and the Pandorica opens. Yeah, I can't remember where I mentioned that. I think I mentioned that somewhere as well. But yeah, it's about it's an apt comparison. I love the Pandorica opens. I still think the Pandorica opens and the Big Bang is probably the best finale Stephen Moffat did, mainly because season 5 is easy Moffat's best season because you can kind of tell with Moffat that he had like 4 or 5 ideas for Doctor Who, and he applied most of them, his best ones, in his first season. So that when the second half of Series 6 came round, it just didn't stack up. And to be fair, I don't mean that as like a personal criticism against Moffat. If I was the showrunner of Doctor Who, I would have maybe 4 or 5 great ideas or stories, and then I'd probably run out of gas a season or two, like 2 or 3 seasons in. It's natural. It's why I think showrunners don't need to stay on for 4 or 5 years unless they're just able to continually like pick up the slack and just continually work on like great material. It's why you also need a great team of writers around you. For like season like 7 onwards, it was basically the Moffat show, and there were very few supporting writers or like writers who like were able to make a big impact on their own in the series. Like you'd get like a Sarah Dollard or Neil Cross like every so often, but it wouldn't be like this team of writers coming together to make great stories. It was Stephen Moffat, spacebar, 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 the occasional good guest writer. Oh, we never checked Memory Worm's nature. Calm. Calm nature. Okay, Pokedex, Lord Starfish, do what you gotta do. Calm nature. Oh god. Plus special defense minus attack. That might be good because a lot of the things that bug type that they'd be weak to would be stuff like fire attacks or like a psychic attack, which are special attacks. Right. I'll take a different way around. I want to heal. Get the big finish writers on Doctor Who. Sometimes that does work. But it's not a be all end all solution because writing for radio, writing for audio is a very different format to writing for TV. So not to say that the big finish writers aren't good or wouldn't be capable, but it's not that simple. I also think he dedicated more time to Sherlock than Doctor Who, mainly because Sherlock was the bigger success for the BBC, at least in terms of ratings and international sales. I don't know what it did for merchandising or home media releases, but Sherlock was a massive show. And it also got a much bigger budget than Doctor Who, and it kind of showed. Yeah, I'm interested in like because he worked on the Tintin movie, or like he co-wrote the screenplay with Joe Cornish, and I think there was a third writer in there as well. But it's hard to tell what his contributions were, where they begun or where they would begin and end. If I ever met Moffat in person, it's something I'd like to ask him. Apart from Series 7, what the fuck were you thinking? But for I would also like to ask like what were your contributions on the Tintin movie? Not like to say what did you do, but like genuinely, I want to know. I want to know how that process was. I think it'd be interesting. Chris asks, "Do you use Letterboxd?" I think I have a Letterboxd account, but I don't use it. Oscar says I met Moffat at the Guardians 2 European premiere. What was he doing there? Out of interest, what was he doing there? Did he work on the film in some regard, or okay, we're one level away from him evolving. Oh, right. I'll keep Memory Worm in Halo, and then bring somebody back out. Oscar says he was watching it with his kids and wife. Okay, so I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing he got an invite. Maybe because of Gillen. Yeah, possibly. By the way, Karen Gillan she's started directing. She's got a movie either about to come out or has already come out on the festival circuit. She wrote and directed it, and she stars in it, I think. And it looks interesting. I want to give it a look at some point, but I don't know what type of distribution it's going to get after its festival run, if it does get one at all. It'd be interesting. And yeah, Karen Gillan after like Jumanji, which is one of the biggest films of last year, and it was kind of amazing how her career has progressed. She's done really, really well post Doctor Who. I think she's had even Doctors included, maybe one of the most successful post Doctor Who careers ever. Troy Fan 97 says, "Hey Trilbee, one of your patrons, Edward Sweetheart here. How you doing? Hi Edward, how you? Nice to see you here." Alex Stewart says that the film is called The Party's Just Beginning. I believe you can watch a trailer for it online. I saw a trailer for it somewhere. But yeah, check out the trailer, see if it's something you're interested in watching, support independent film, if it's good, of course. And yeah, Edward mentions Oculus. That was a really great horror film. I almost forget about Oculus, but I've been meaning to pick it up on Blu-ray. Like, it's really good. Critical hit. Was Lee Pace in Oculus? Did he play in Oculus? I've not seen it since it came out in theaters. I just remember really liking it. And there's that terrific bit. It was in the trailer as well, where she bites into the apple. That's just really well done. Mm. In her movie, okay, Lee Pace is in Karen Gillan's movie. That would be a thing that I would Wikipedia and then I would claim to know and be super duper smart, but I can't do that without closing the emulator or at least pausing it for a moment, and then you'd all be on to me. And yeah, Clockwork Harley Quinn mentions in regards to Sherlock that because Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman were so busy in big movies like the MCU films and and The Hobbit and everything, that delayed filming. Yeah, the big gaps between Sherlock seasons. Excuse me, tickly throat. That I thought that would have maybe been an advantage for Sherlock because it gives them more time to write the scripts, but like season 3 and season 4, those scripts really diminished in quality. The villain in season 2 is terrible. I hated people keep on to this day people are contesting me about it, but the villain who was like, oh, I have my own mind palace and I use it to extort people, but he has no tangible evidence. That's not a good villain. He has no tangible evidence. He has nothing against anybody. He is basically a walking empty threat. It was so dumb. That was so bad. And yeah, Lee Pace was Thranduil in The Hobbit with his amazing voice, and he was also Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the more boring villains in the MCU. However, he's boring with a purpose. Where he is, I'm not saying he's a great villain, but because he was so boring and straight faced, it made his his interactions with the Guardians even funnier. Edward, my streaming setup is very basic and rudimentary. It is a Google Hangout where I am using screen sharing, and because I can't get audio from the game itself using the stream, I'm doing it through my laptop speakers. Holy shit! We found our Miss Vanjie. We found Miss Vanjie. Why couldn't you have been around earlier? Oh shit. Galaxy Dot. That's terrific. Oh, I've poisoned it. Take that, you get. Right, I think if I attack it with Bide again, it will really hurt me, so I'm going to use String Shot. Galaxy Dot, that's the winner. That's the winner here. KC Reviews, we already got something on this route. We got Memory Worm. Miss Vanjie. That could have been very bad. But because it's a level 4 Pokemon, so we should actually level up and evolve. Okay, folks, let's find out what our Memory Worm is going to turn into. Memory worm is evolving. Okay, is it Silcoon or Cascoon? I think that's the names. We're gonna get a Dustox, folks. And it learned Harden. Oh, I need to get that item off Rocket. Super potion. This guy's great. Okay, I think we should start moving on to the next route soon. Tron fan 97. Sorry. I got back into Pokemon Go after upgrading my phone. I played it when it first came out. I was into it for maybe 2 months, but it's just something that I couldn't work into my day-to-day schedule, and it became like more of a grind than anything. So I kind of I uninstalled it. Plus, it was like a major battery drain. Like it's not something I could, even though I'm out and about a lot for work, like on location, visiting different places. I need my phone for work. I need it to communicate with people, send emails, and do stuff like that. So it was something I just couldn't expend. I couldn't expend the battery life for it. I don't know if they ever modified the game to fix it at all, but I enjoyed it while I was like playing it, but it was something that I don't really have a long term interest in. Oscar Tid asks, "Who is the nicest celeb you've worked with?" Um, there are some people who you work with where they're just there and they're doing their job and they're nice enough. They're not bad, they're not great, they're just there. Like that's in my opinion like your Jack Whitehalls. Like, no offense to Jack Whitehall, he's nice to work with. He was pleasant, professional, all good. But nicest celebrity I've worked with. I want to say I would never expected to have said this because I'm not a fan of his work. But Russell Brand was really nice. Really enjoy working with Russell Brand. He remembered my name. I've worked with him twice, and the second time I worked with him, he remembered who I was. He asked me for fashion tips from like a member of his troupe, his entourage. Yeah, because I went into his changing room where him and his entourage were staying, and asked them if I needed anything, if I could help them out with anything, and they're like, "No, we're fine." Will, by the way, we need your advice for something. And this guy, I don't know who he was or what his relationship to Russell was, but he had a chain on his belt which like looped around to like it looped around basically um from like his middle, like the back of his belt hook to like the right side of him. So it basically was like enunciating his right butt cheek basically. And he's like, "Oh, Will, what do you think of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks nice. Brings out your buttocks." The room laughed a lot harder than I thought they would. And then we just were chatting for like 10 minutes, and he was just really nice and really friendly. Which is because I'm not like a fan of like his comedic work or anything, but yeah, Russell Brand was really nice. Bear Grylls was nice as well. I've worked with him. Bear Grylls was nice. Tron fan 97. I gather you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Yes, I am. Have you ever watched the dub of Ghost Stories? It's basically its own abridged series, and it's funny as hell. I haven't. I don't watch much anime. I watched Dragon Ball Super, but that's finished. At least the Japanese dub is finished. I watch My Hero Academia. I'll watch One Punch Man when it comes back. I think later on this year. But apart from, I also want to watch more Attack on Titan. I've watched like season one, but I've been meaning to watch the rest of it. British Buffoon asks, "Have you seen Red Dwarf?" Yes, I have. I love it. It's terrific. Um, I don't think I've watched the last two seasons that came out. That's not because I'm disinterested in Red Dwarf. I just never got around to watching him. Clockwork Harley Quinn asks, "Have you watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge?" Yes, I've been watching it since, I wouldn't say since day one, but quite early on when it was new. I was watching it, and yeah, really funny stuff. A lot of the humor basically just comes from, "Oh, look how silly Yu-Gi-Oh! Is," as opposed to, let's say, Team Four Star, where they come up with very original, recurring jokes and like redefined characters and stuff like that. I think Dragon Ball Abridged is in many ways an improvement over the source material, which is outstanding to me as a concept. But yeah, both are great. And of course, without Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, you don't have Dragon Ball Z Abridged. But although Little Karibo is a legitimately like great Frieza, a voice of Frieza, um, I remember there was this. I can't remember the name of the company or the person, but it's this guy who was doing live action Dragon Ball Z like movie trailers, and he said, "Oh, we're going to be doing one based on the Frieza, the Namek saga, and we want suggestions for like who should voice Frieza." And I got into the comment section like the first hour or two the video went live, and I suggested Little Karibo, and I gave my reasonings. I said, yes, it's a comedy, but he's genuinely intimidating when the script requires it, and he's also versatile. He's a really good voice for Frieza. And then a few like weeks later, they come out and say, "Oh, we've got Little Kariba to do this." And I don't know if I influenced them. That might have been me because I didn't see anyone else in that comment section suggesting Frieza before I did. So I'm not trying to like claim credit or anything, but I think that's how it went down. Um, Oscar Tid asks, "Are you more hyped for Mission Impossible 6, Ocean's 8, or Bond 25?" I'm going to remove Bond 25 from that equation because I don't even know if we have a director yet. Like Danny Boyle is remaining coy on the issue. We don't have a trailer or a plot synopsis or anything like that. So Mission Impossible 6 or Ocean's 8. I'm equally anticipating both of them. I really like the trailers for Ocean's 8. The cast are terrific. I like the style on display. It looks really good. Mission Impossible 6 is like it looks the recent trailers have been really good. I like the look of it a lot. But it's from the same director as Rogue Nation. And Rogue Nation is a decent film, but in my opinion, it was a big step down after Ghost Protocol. My throat's tickling again. Ghost Protocol was the best Mission Impossible movie to date, in my opinion, and it was a step down to get to bring back the guy who did Rogue Nation because he's a decent director, but like the trailer looks good. Henry Cavill is like great casting. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the film. But yeah, for Mission Impossible 6, it's more like diminished expectations, whereas Ocean's 8, I'm more willing to be surprised, which is why I think I'm equally anticipating both of them. Like, Rogue Nation is fine. It's a decent film. It's okay. It's really missing a spark. And Rebecca Ferguson, everyone is just like saying how amazing she was in the film and how great she is and how she was such a breath of fresh air for the series. But I thought she was really underwritten, underdeveloped. Like she was your cliche femme fatale, like double crossing like lady. Like she was really trite to me. Like she wasn't bad in the film. It's just, but yeah, it's like Clockwork Harley Quinn says Mission Impossible. Like for Simon Pegg, he kind of makes those films, and he's great in that. But as the chat's disappearing, I'm going to quickly answer some more questions. I don't mean disappearing. I mean it's scrolling up. Trump97 started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, it's really good. That's a really good TV series. Really great cast. I know people like say, "Oh, diversity is terrible and it's ruining media." Brooklyn Nine-Nine is like a prime example of a diverse cast who are really making it work. Like the cast are terrific, and like I don't think any cast member in Brooklyn Nine-Nine puts a foot wrong. And Rocket's got something else. Protein. Oh. Casey reviews. What's your most anticipated movie that hasn't come out yet for this year? Probably Incredibles 2. There's some stuff coming out in the winter that I want to see trailers for before I get anticipated for those. But right now, it's got to be probably Incredibles 2, which in America comes out on my birthday. I don't know if it does in the UK. June 15th is my birthday. Clockwork Harley Quinn says the Bonds Beyond Time abridged movie is genuinely amazing and probably better than the real thing. Yeah, that's really fun. I like Shady Vox as Jaden. He's a really good voice actor and really ideal for that role. And the interplay, like the romantic interplay between Yugi and Yusei, is inspired. Top 3 bands and artists of all time: Queen, the Beatles, Frank Sinatra, off the top of my head. Chris says that it's also my birthday movie. I'm assuming you mean Incredibles. Oh shit, I may have judged this very wrongly. I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry, because C-Dot was using Bide, and I did 2 super effective attacks on it, so I didn't want to risk losing Memory Worm. I'm going to move on to the next route. Let's just go and explore some houses first. Keep the questions coming, folks. This is fun. Yeah, does anyone else like have any other birthday movies? I don't specifically mean this year, but I remember when I was younger, the Shrek films and the Star Wars movies, like the Star Wars prequels, they would come out like around my birthday. So they would be the birthday movies that I would see with my family and friends. I hate this guy. I'm going to skip this because I have an emulator. Yeah, screw that guy. I don't want to see my dad. I've got daddy issues. Okay, I guess I'm going in there. Hi, Dad. I hate you. Oh, Wally. Oh, it's Wally. Oh, Nathan, that's really cool. May, I think, in terms of movies, is a really good movie. Is like a really good like movie month. Like you get the Marvel films, you get like the beginning of the blockbuster season. That's really cool. This year, my birthday movie was The Last Jedi, which I'd already seen at that point. I wanted to watch again to sort my thoughts out on it. So I'm assuming your birthday is around December time. That's pretty cool because you get some like Oscar prestige films. You would get some. You get like your blockbusters like The Last Jedi or Jumanji. Like your tastes are really all catered for, more or less. The Man with the Scarf and Poi. I probably butchered that. June 28th, Baby Driver. That's cool. Oscar Tid, Swiss Army Man came out on my birthday last year. Yeah, I like Swiss Army Man. I reviewed it on my site. I think I gave it 3 stars, 3.5 stars. I liked it, didn't love it, but I really appreciated it. And bloody Wally gets a route. Well, to be fair, at least he's abiding by the rules of the Nuzlocke. I mean, it's the first thing he's seen on the route. He's gonna catch it. There we go. Yeah, Lord Starfish, January 9th. Lord Starfish, are you in the UK? I don't need an exact address or anything, that'd be creepy. But if you're in the UK, January in the UK is a terrific month for movies because you get all of the Oscar holdovers. Like you would get like your La La Lands, your Revenants, which I didn't like it, but like a lot of people did like the Revenant and A Monster Calls. You would get all of your awards prestige films. And that like January in the UK is a stacked month. Whereas when people, I listen to a lot of American commentators and American film pundits, and they're like, "Oh, January is a barren wasteland," and I'm like, "Ha, not in the UK, bitch." Okay. Chris says my brother is a big Batman fan, and BVS came out around his birthday. I'm so sorry that your brother had to go through that film on his birthday. Okay, Rocket's not holding anything. Oscar says I saw Shape of Water, Darkest Hour, Lady Bird of Post, and Phantom Thread in like 10 days. It's one hell of a marathon. Hey, oh, folks, we're on a new route. Oh yeah, Tron Fan 97 says, what are your thoughts on the US getting Ant-Man and the Wasp a whole month before it was in the UK? That's annoying. That's really annoying because if you've not heard, Ant-Man and the Wasp is getting pushed back a month. Talo! Okay, folks, we've got a Talo. Come up with name suggestions for this Talo. Yeah, but Ant-Man and the Wasp is getting delayed in the UK because we're getting the World Cup in June, July. Around that time, basically this summer, we're getting the World Cup. And Disney, Marvel do not want to compete with that. So as a result, they are leaving it. Taylor Swift. It needs to be 10 characters or less. I'm so sorry, because otherwise it won't fit. We had this issue with Baskerville, for those of you who are joining us late in the stream. That's why it's missing an E on the end. Brad Bird. Lord Starfish came up with Brad Bird. Right, if no one else can come up with Brad Bird, right, if no one else can best that. But yeah, Lord Starfish says I'm in Norway, though we do often get the new Disney movies in January over here. I'm not sure what the Norway film calendar would be, but I still think January, depending on where you are, can be a really good month. Really good month. Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's 11 characters. Tron Fan 97. That's not gonna fit. Oh no! Oh, sorry, it is because you've removed the I. Although Brad Bird, people seem to be really gravitating towards, and it's a male as well. If it was a female, Taylor Swift could be good, but for a male, I think Brad Bird is the one. Taylor courageously stands its ground against foes, however strong they may be. Give a nickname to the captured Taylor. Yes, please, Brad Bird. Going once, going twice. Hey, let's go for Brad Bird. Although we don't really have anything that can compete against when we get to Roxanne. Oscar Tito's biggest waste of time, Finding Dory or Toy Story 4. That's not entirely fair because we've not seen Toy Story 4. We've not seen anything from it. We're probably going to get a trailer for it around the time of The Incredibles 2 because that's what Pixar tend to do. But if you'd asked me before either film's release, before we saw anything of anything regarding the films, I probably would have said Toy Story 4, but I still wouldn't have been very enthusiastic for Finding Dory. Finding Dory was still fine. It was pretty good. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was good. In fact, I would say it was better than good. It was a great film. It just the ending really jumped the shark, pun intended. But Ellen DeGeneres is just great. She can carry a film. But the world didn't quite need it, but I did like it. You can find just so I'm not regurgitating my thoughts, if you go on my website, www.trilbee.com, and in the search bar, look up Finding Dory, you'll find my review of it. Look, I love that detail. You can leave footsteps. Come on, look me in the eyes, you coward. There we go. Heads up, Route 104 continues on after Petalburg Forest. So once you exit that forest, you will not be on a new route. Oh, yes, Lord Starfish, is that what the TFS people did recently? The Team 4-star crew? We need a Bug's Life too. Bug's Life never really, I was never on board for it. I actually think that a Bug's Life or Monsters Inc. or Bug's Life or Monsters Inc. might actually be my least favorite Pixar films. I love the villain in A Bug's Life. He's the best part of that film. But the rest of it I could take or leave. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, Lord Starfish. And holy shit, Brad Bird grew 2 levels that day. And in another Taylor. I don't dislike it, but Pixar, in my opinion, have not made a bad film yet. But Monsters Inc. I did a video review of it in 5 years ago. I gave it 3 stars. I think not to don't get too bent up and out of shape about numbers or numerical scores and such. But I like Monsters Inc. But I actually think Monsters University is an improvement. But people are asking I can't remember who asked, but someone asked a favorite least favorite Doctor Who story. Off the top of my head, probably something like Warriors of the Deep, but that's just so bad it's good. Cars 2 or Good Dinosaur. I rate them similarly. I like Cars 2 as just a standard action like comedy. And Good Dinosaur has great moments, but it doesn't really work entirely as a whole. Yeah, Lord Starfish, thanks for the heads up for that, because I probably would have forgotten and not realized that and would have broken the rules. TronFan97 favorite multi-doctor episode. I'm actually tempted to do after I've done my top 20 Murray Gold video, tempted to do like ranking the multi-doctor stories. So, my favorite multi-doctor episode, it probably is Day of the Doctor. Day of the Doctor, revisiting it, is a great story. It's really good. It's well balanced. It's well structured. It's not perfect, but for what it is, a celebration of the 50th anniversary without Christopher Eccleston, it's really good. Really enjoy it. And John Hurt, like rest in peace, John Hurt is really great. John Hurt is like he was one hell of a get for that story. Would that include Big Finish multi-doctor stories? No, because I've only listened to like 1.5 Big Finish stories. There was recently a 99p sale for Big Finish where they were selling a load of episodes, like the first 50 for 99p each. I downloaded about 15 of them, and they're on my phone. I'm about 3/4 of the way through Phantasmagoria, written by Mark Gatiss, and it's decent. I like it. But I'm thinking of actually trying to get more regular content on the Mr. Titus Reviews channel. Like just doing brief, like 5-minute reviews of Big Finish stories that I've downloaded. Actually, just for fun, I will, because I've got the Big Finish app, I will open up the app and just let you know what stories I did get if you folks are interested in that at all. I've not got all of them downloaded onto my phone, but I should still have the library available on the app, because that Big Finish app is really cool. Okay, so I've got Sirens of Time, Phantasmagoria, Whispers of Terror with Colin Baker, Land of the Dead with Peter Davison, The Fearmonger with Sylvester McCoy, The Marion Conspiracy, The Genocide Machine, Storm Warning with Paul McGann, Jubilee, Spare Parts, Davros, and that's... Oh, no, I didn't get 15 of them. What am I on about? I got like 10. Yeah, those are the ones I've got. Clockwork Harley Quinn, did you ever read any of the Doctor Who time novels? I read it was the 8th Doctor one with the Daleks, where they basically rewrote the Time War or rewrote Dalek continuity, and it made no fucking sense. I forget what it's called. I even reference it in like a video. Like I'm doing a crossover with somebody, and when it cuts to me, I'm reading that book, because in that book, the 8th Doctor is flirting with the companion, and I jokingly say, "Oh, 8th Doctor, is there a companion who you haven't tried to sleep with?" Because that was basically like his shtick. I need to Google it, but I can't quite do it quickly. Ha! Poisoned, you bitch! Right. Predictions for Doctor Who Series 11, asks Charles. It's hard to say. I'd need to see. They've done such a great job at having it under wraps, like the filming and the plot lines. Like we've only had a couple of rumors come out, like they're going to be meeting Rosa Parks. Apparently, there's Alan Cumming as King James. I think we're going to go more historical for Series 11, but whether or not we're going to go pure historical, or if we're going to be what am I doing? Rocket caught Summit. Whether or not they're going to be going pure historical, where there's no supernatural threats, remains to be seen. We may have like a really well done series arc, because we know that Chris Chibnall can do it after Broadchurch. But it's really hard to say. Tron Fan 97, best long-awaited sequel movie, like 10 years since previous entry. Mine is either Fury Road or T2 Train Spotting. Those are great ones. Blade Runner 2049, in my opinion, is better than the original. T2 Train Spotting is not necessarily better, but it's different. Or it's not better or worse, it's different. It's a different type of experience. Yeah, KC reviews, more historical stories. Like, for Capaldi, we had Robots of Sherwood. Did we have anything else set? Well, no, we had Thin Ice, Robots of Sherwood and Thin Ice. Were there any more? David Jerry, did you watch all 3 series of Broadchurch? Because I think the first one is I've watched 2. I've watched series 1, which is the best. Series 2 is not as good, but it's not a big step down. If like Broadchurch was a 9 out of 10, series 2 is like an 8 out of 10. Really good. I've not watched series 3 though. Do you think series 11 will have the same success as series 1 and 5? Initially, yes, I think it will. Providing the introductory episode is good, that it can hook people in. Because make no mistake, people are going to be watching. People will be watching them. They'll be curious. Even the naysayers will be watching because they'll be like, "Oh, we're not going to watch this because it's feminazi conspiracy and we hate WOMs." They're going to be watching because they need the justification. They need to watch it so they can actually draw attention to things that they apparently dislike, like specifically when they do their ranting YouTube videos. Oh yeah, The Girl Who Died and the Woman Who Lived, those are historical stories as well. So what? Okay, so if you count that as like a single story, Capaldi had three of them. Oscar Tid, I think it was Oscar Tid who asked. I'm just losing it in the chat. The only about the Han Solo movie. I think it will still just be a Han Solo movie, but because Donald Glover is such a great charismatic presence, they are probably going to focus a lot on him in the marketing campaign. But blimey, that film's like only 2 or 3 weeks away. The box office projections, like apparently it's gonna in America, it's gonna open bigger than Rogue One, but I'm seeing very little hype for it. Be interested in seeing how it pans out at the box office. Okay, let's turn the tables and think of a historical Doctor Who idea. Suggests Alex Stewart. Okay, just to make things interesting, it's pure historical. There can't be any aliens or supernatural threat. Also, yeah, I got halfway through answering David Jerry's question. Don't you think Series 11 will get a similar viewing figures seen with the 12th Doctor? Well, the thing about the viewing figures for the 12th Doctor for Capaldi is that people will say that just losing my voice again, blimey. People will say that there's the social justice agenda of the Peter Capaldi era turned people off, whereas personally I think it was the generally bad writing. Like I've lost count of the amount of people who, in my opinion, in their opinion, were completely turned off from the series the moment Peter Capaldi rode into like Victorian England with like riding a tank and playing the electric guitar. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people in my experience, in my social circle. So it's hard to say how it will go, but if the reviews are good, if the audiences respond to it, the viewing figures will likely not reach the 11th Doctor's era, but they may have an improvement over the Capaldi era if the storylines are good, if the quality is good, if the marketing is good. Because for the Capaldi era, if you watch the 5 Who fans video about the marketing campaign with the new logo, and like John Granston did a terrific job on that video. He breaks down that during the Capaldi era, the BBC did the marketing campaign in-house. They did it themselves, whereas previous seasons they contracted a specific marketing company to do it. And now with the 13th Doctor, Chris Chibnall era, they've got a new outsourced marketing team. So that means they'll be able to hopefully do a better marketing campaign for the new series, which can help drive the viewing figures up if the marketing campaign is good. But audiences will only stay if these stories are good. And I hope to God they are. And yeah, no one watches live TV anymore. They still do for event TV. But BBC iPlayer will be a big feature. whether or not I've heard rumors that Doctor Who Confidential is going to come back. And if they do, they'll probably make it a BBC Three exclusive, which could draw more people online. And I think that would be a good approach. But Clockwork Harley Quinn met some people who worked as extras on Solo. Apparently, Emilia Clarke is a sweetheart, but the guy who plays Han, Alden Ehrenreich, was kind of rude and dismissive of them. I won't say whether or not that's true, or say that your friends are wrong or had a bad judgment. I don't know. I obviously wasn't there, but it would depend on the scenario, if he was working, if he was in character, because apparently the rumors around Alden Ehrenreich's performance in Solo: A Star Wars Story was that he was all very professional and very in character and in the headspace, whereas everyone else was a lot more freeform and a lot more jokey and improv-y. So maybe that could be why. Because I tend not to judge actors if they're dismissive of fans while filming, while on set, because they are in a headspace. It depends on their approach. I mentioned this in the DWSR Doctor Who etiquette video. Oh, Rocket had a rare candy. David Jerry says, what do you think it is people like about the 12th Doctor? Probably the performance, how Capaldi is such an outstanding screen presence. And the idea of him being morally ambiguous, Tron Fan 97, it's brought up, but it's never fulfilled. The idea of ambiguity is presented, but it's never followed through on, and I find that massively disappointing, in my opinion. Am I a hybrid, Clara? Brad Bird learned quick attack. Just for fun, just to move this Nuzlocke along, because we've been nearly playing for 2 hours. Those 2 hours have flown by. Clockwork Harley Quinn, Capaldi deserves so much better. I agree. And also, not to be morbid about it, he is the oldest recent Doctor, which means that the clock is ticking on getting him in a multi-Doctor story. And it was an April Fool's, obviously, my 55th anniversary special story, but it is the 55th anniversary coming up, and it's likely going to coincide with the broadcast of Doctor Who Season 11. I'm not saying bring Capaldi back a year after he was introduced, but a multi-Doctor story in the near future would be really cool. And David Jerry, did you watch H. Bomber Guy's video on Twice Upon a Time? I did, and I loved it. Although he might have stolen my EastEnders joke. Right, okay, new route. We already have a wormhole. So we have a wormhole, and we've had a cascoon, meaning that we're likely going to be initiating the dupes clause here. Okay, Zigzagoon, we've got one already. So we get 2 more chances. Folks, just in case, I'm just wondering where the limits are here, because this Nuzlocke is mainly for fun. If we encounter 3 of the same Pokemon in a row, because dupes clause means that if we encounter something that we've already caught, we get 2 more chances. Should we just keep going until we found something new, or Shroomish? Okay, we don't need to bother about dupes clause. So, okay, I don't want to kill it. Baskerville out. He's the lowest level. British Buffoon asks, who's your favorite comedian? I don't watch much stand-up, but I love the team from I love the team from The Last Leg. Adam Hill, Josh Widdicombe, and Alex Brooker. Oh, Alex Brooker. He's a really nice guy. I've worked with him. I've met him. I got drunk with him. It was one of my favorite experiences ever. Alex Brooker is a fucking delight. Okay, it's RB555 says, Shroomish looks like Heimlich from A Bug's Life. Do you want to nickname him Heimlich if we catch him? Okay, I'm just going through these questions because there's quite... Okay, Chris says, what did you think of the Robin Hood trailer with Taron Egerton? I like the twists. Well, I like it in theory of him also. Oh shit! Of Robin Hood also being the the sheriff of Nottingham. He's like the sheriff of Nottingham, but he's also Robin Hood. That's a decent twist on the material. Who knows? Um, okay, let's go for the Ultra Bowl. Okay, we need a name for the Shroomish, so please name something. Um, yeah, okay, so Tron Fanlang 7 Trilbee, would you rather have a whole season of John Hurt as the War Doctor where he's still alive, or for Eccleston to come back for one season? That's a tough one. I'd love to see a whole season of John Hurt actually, because I think Eccleston would be great to bring back, like in a multi-Doctor story, but not for a whole season. Shroomish lives in damp soil in the dark depths of forests. They are often found keeping still under fallen leaves. This Pokemon feeds on compost that is made up of fallen rotted leaves. Since he evolves into Breloom Kung Shrew, Stump, Heimlich, giving it name to the captured Shroomish. I want to make sure I get the spelling right. This is going to sound so pedantic. Is anyone able to go to like the official Bugs Life Wikipedia or IMDb page and get the actual spelling for Heimlich? I think it has a H in it, but if we're gonna do this, reference, let's do it right. Mineta, is that a ref? Are we talking Mineta as in My Hero Academia Mineta? I'm thinking Heimlich. Okay, yeah. See, I hate Mineta, and Shroomish could come in really handy in the next gym. So, okay, we're gonna go for Heimlich. Going once, going Deku. Ah, no, it deserves a better name. A name like Deku deserves to be part of a better Pokemon than Shroomish. No offense to Shroomish, but Deku is for something genuinely special. So, okay, Shroomish. Oh, by the way, we have 6 Pokemon now. Yeah, we have 6 Pokemon. Okay. Oh, Rocket's poisoned. Let's get back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he's got 11 HP left. Could you call the Shroomish Hannibal if you catch it? We could have done, but that's gone, I'm afraid. Okay. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Can I make it to the Pokemon Center? I can't. Okay. Oh, Peckerberry. Oh, that's a held item. Let's save that. Okay. Yeah, that is quite a diverse team. I mean, Poochyena and Zigzagoon are kind of like a bit bog standard, but they'll be useful, I think. Any plans on finishing your best films for 2016 video? Yes, it's like halfway edited. It's been a really busy time for me recently, in terms of like work, because like I said, I mentioned earlier, that I was like planning to do some like vlog style videos, and then I got called into work a lot. Like I'm working this Sunday on a documentary, and then next week I'm actually in Canada because it was my uncle Brian passed away in November, and him and like the extended family they live in Canada, so heading over there for his funeral, and I'm going to be away for a few days for that. Heimlich's going to be tough to train in this area. And then once I'm back from that, I'm in Swansea for a job for a week. And then I'm heading straight to London. I could be there for like a month in London. I'll bring my laptop with me and hopefully get some stuff done. And then after that, I'm doing some studio stuff in Manchester. I'm all booked up until July on work, basically. Let's see how that goes. And I'm missing the entire chat because I'm rambling. What's your favorite member of Linda from Love and Monsters? I liked the love story. I liked as like in quotes because I didn't, yeah. But there was the love story between Bridget and what's his face. I forget his name. Best member is Peter Kay. I've worked with Peter Kay. Peter Kay is a nice guy. He's nice. He's a nice guy to work with as well. Very professional. Oh yeah, I've finished One Punch Man. Trump, and I love it. Like the ending of series one is terrific. I love the music. I love the animation. The English dub is pretty good as well, but in my opinion, I prefer the Japanese one. You've not lived until you've been to the Emmerdale. I've worked on Emmerdale, so I've done one better than the studio experience. Who's your favorite Silurian in Warriors of the Deep? The one who says yes. Um, I'll turn the game up if you folks are bothered about hearing it. I've had it on quite a low volume. Mr. Skinner, that's his name. Yes. Um, okay, I'm going to bring in Heimlich just to get him some XP. What's your favorite steamed hams edit? Drop the microphone. My bum is really hurting, so I've got to move positions. Oh, blimey. Oh, my... I think it's because I'm partially sat on a cushion. My favorite steam ham is the one when they're interrupting each other. I also like the 3D versions or the hit and run mod one. Yeah, those are funny. Who's your favorite member of the family blood apart from? Oh no, but Jeremy Baines is the answer. No, it is. It's Jeremy Baines. That is the correct answer. Sorry to be that guy, but I accept nothing else. Trying to find a way to. How obsessed are you with Pokemon? Asks CTL Euro College. Not very. Not that. I think it's pretty cool. But I'm not. Wouldn't say I'm obsessed with it. Let's bring in Heimlich again. I'm looking forward to getting the XP share. I'm gonna skip it because otherwise we'll be here for a long time. Oh yeah, Alex, you asked this before and I missed it. Sorry. Favorite robot from Robot Wars. Growing up, it was Razor. I'm looking back. I've got a soft spot for Panic Attack. Who do you prefer, the Raven from Face the Raven or a Shielder / me? Was the Raven a character, or like I'm not I'm not sure if I fully understand the question, but I'll go for a Shielder / me. Although she got more boring when she was immortal. Yeah. I once held a piece of Stinger from Robot Wars. Nice. Stinger was pretty cool. Stinger was like the robot that could. I have a Shroomish. I was going to ambush you, but after dawdling Petalbert Woods forever, didn't you? I got sick of waiting, so here I am. I like how upfront he is about it. Yeah, I like the Raven as well, David, mainly because, yeah, he killed Clara. Well, not really. Clara came back. Okay, let's battle this guy. Puchiena. Should have called the Shroomish Nardo. That would have been pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to bring out Torchwood for this one. Who do you prefer, the 12th Doctor or the 13th, based on their appearances? I don't know. Like the 12th Doctor's, like if you're looking like if the question is like which costume or like photos of like their like initial appearance, I prefer. It probably would be the 13th, but I like both of them. Though the 12th Doctor's like it's got a very um, understated look. Marky Moo or Jackie Boy? I don't understand that. Yeah, Gabriel from the new series was like if Stinger was. Yeah, Gabriel was Oh no, there was also Nuts. Nuts was like another like robot that everyone underestimated in the series, and I thought he was like more like the Stinger equivalent. Thanks to you, he didn't rob me of these important papers. Oh, Oh, no, neither. I don't watch either of them. Who do you prefer, Clive from Rose or Clara's Men? Clive from Rose. I don't remember anything about Clara's Men except that she likes the 11th Doctor naked. Who's your favorite Marvel hero? If we're talking movies and comics and everything else, not just like the entire like medium and all the characters, it's the Incredible Hulk. Okay, so I've been streaming this game for 2 hours. Do you folks want me to carry on? I'm having fun. Don't know about you guys. Who was better at writing companions' families, Moffat or Rusty Davis? Trick question. Rusty Davis, because Moffat didn't write companions' families. I mean, like literally, he did write Bill's adopted mum, and Clara's nan and stuff like that. But like they weren't really characters. Do you prefer the fish from A Christmas Carol or the Cybermat from Closing Time? Probably the Cybermat. Amy's tiny little dad was great. He appeared in one episode and is never referenced again. I appreciate the sentiment, but he appears in like two scenes, his introductory one and then the wedding, and it's never seen or heard from again. I did like Rory's dad, Arthur Williams, but that was a Chris Chibnall thing. Like Chris Chibnall is not even the showrunner of Doctor Who yet, technically, and even he has written better family companions to the family than Stephen Moffat did. Age of Ultron, Hulkbuster, probably the Age of Ultron one because we got to see more of what it did. Do you think the 14th Doctor will be a man or a woman? I don't know. Like if they reverse this, I can see there being like a vocal backlash from a very a small minority of people, but it will have to do with the casting. Like if they can get another great person like Jodie Whittaker to be cast in the series, then go for it. CTL Eurocomic says, if you were a writer of Doctor Who, what episode would you write? I do actually have an answer to this. However, I don't like to tell it to people in case I actually do turn it into like a short film idea or something in future. Would I prefer the Sonic glasses or the Sonic trowel? Another trick question. There was no Sonic trowel, but I would prefer it over the Sonic glasses. Was there a Sonic trowel? I could have misremembered that. I don't remember there being. Either way, it's still the trowel. If by some miracle Doctor Who was still going on in 100 years, would we have had more women or male doctors? We probably would have had more male doctors. Not necessarily a good or bad thing about the show, but yeah, it would probably still have more male doctors. Scariest episode of New Who, more recently, the way the Cybermen were handled in Warden Up and Time really got under my skin. Yeah, they were really well handled, but probably the scariest episode of New Who is probably Blink or Midnight, one of those two. Definitely not anything from the Matt Smith era, to be honest. Sonic Trowel is in the Husbands of River song. See, I've not watched Husbands of River song in its entirety since it was broadcast. What did they use it for? What do I prefer, the banana from the empty child or the apple from the 11th hour? What questions are these? I don't know. Probably the banana from the empty child. Maybe. Oh, bullet seed. River had it. She's an archaeologist. Get it? Did they actually use it for anything, or did they just reference it? Also, let me know if you can hear me okay. I have moved the microphone. Let me know if the audio from the game is overpowering it. If it's fine, don't say anything. But if there is an issue, let me know. They should make a Lego Wallace and Gromit movie. See, with Peter Sallis, like, do you carry on? I'm not saying they shouldn't, but it's more like a legit question. Should you carry on? It's hard to say. I don't envy the folks at Admin, but they've recently like announced Chicken Run 2. Why? I mean, clearly, um, Early Man didn't do as well as they wanted to, which is why they're going back to the Chicken Run like franchise. But like Early Man, I think underperformed, but Aardman are going to be kept afloat because they get contributions from the National Lottery, and because they're kind of considered a oh you bitch, um, because they're kind of a British institution, they're going to be propped up. I know that I read an interview a while ago with some of the folks over at Aardman. It was like shortly after Brexit was announced, and they were like really kind of worried about the future of their company post Brexit. So I'm not sure if that could be why they're going for Chicken Run, because that's more of a guaranteed hit. But for what else is there? Katie reviews, didn't they train a new voice actor for Wallace before Silas passed? There was another voice actor who voiced them in the Telltale games, who was like an impressionist. They might get him, but it could just be more like just out of respect. I don't know. It's I don't envy them for having to decide or having to continue that. Which was better, the hybrid reveal or Brexit? I mean, in my estimation, neither were particularly good. Do you think the Doctor goes to the toilet? Hey, TARDIS is bigger on the inside. Yeah, because that's how you go to the toilet, isn't it? And those of you who aren't reading the chat will probably be very confused by that. Speaking of Wallace and Gromit, I'm sure you get this all the time, but will you continue your Wallace and Gromit reviews? I will, yes. I will try my best, try my damnedest to do a close shave this Christmas or this Boxing Day. I mean, there was no way I was going to get it done last year because it was around Christmas that me and my partner moved into the new house. There was no way that was going to happen. But Bobbus friend says, I've always loved your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Bobbus. I really appreciate it. As for like favorite Wallace and Gromit, short, wrong trousers. But I love all of them. Are you excited about the discontinued return of Dr. Mysterio cliffhanger? What was that cliffhanger? I don't remember there being a cliffhanger, but I don't know. Yeah, Robot Preston was scary. I think growing up, a close shave was my favorite, but upon reflection and getting better taste, my favorite was wrong trousers. Ah, okay, I'm gonna fast forward this match. Which actor would I rather have be in the Oval Office? Probably The Rock. I mean, he's like clearly, objectively speaking, a better businessman than Donald Trump ever was. I mean, like regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of what you think, objectively speaking, we're all agreed that Donald Trump is a failed businessman, right? I mean, he's like declared bankruptcy 6 times despite being bailed out all the time by his dad's money. But no, let's not talk. Let's talk about something. That David Jerry says, "Have you watched all 2 hours of H Bomber Guy's Sherlock video?" Yes, I disagree with some of his opinions on the first 2 seasons of Sherlock, but everything he says about Sherlock series 3 and 4, he's right on the money. Kind of similar to Lindsay Ellis's Hobbit trilogy, where I really like the first 2 Hobbit films, but then the third one is where I notice all the issues. Like he like how H Bomber Guy does great content, does great videos. And I still really enjoy the Sherlock video, regardless of whether or not I don't agree with all of it, but it's still a great video. Is there anything interesting in any of these other buildings? Pokemon Trainer School. Yeah, let's take a look. I get to battle people. Yeah, House Bomber Guys take down vids of Paul Joseph Watson are, yeah, they're brilliant. Oh, what? Oh. What's this guy doing? What? Oh, cool, I got the Quick Claw. I didn't even know I could get that. Or like how I'd get it. I just came in here hoping for a battle. Oscar Titt says, "Does Johnny Depp produce your hype for Fantastic Beasts 2?" Can't remember if I like the first one. I did like the first one. I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars, I think. I think Colin Firth was great. I don't see why they had to recast him as Johnny Depp. But it doesn't reduce my hype, but it doesn't get me particularly excited either. We know that Johnny Depp is can give a great performance when he puts his mind to it, like in Black Mass. But it just looks like he'll be doing another quirky makeup-filled performance. Like in the trailer for Crime Secret in the World, he's got like the white hair and the pale makeup. Um, um, David Jerry is asking about the H Bomber Guy Sherlock video. Don't you agree with the idea that the fact that the audience isn't able to guess the resolution of the episode based on clues in the episode is a bad thing? Because that's apparent in series 2. It never bothered me. I didn't mind watching Sherlock as a more passive experience. It depends on what type of in what you look for in crime fiction and in crime media. For me, it never really occurred to me until he thought about it. It never really bothered me, to be honest. Do you agree with his point on the boomerang? Yeah, the boomerang is silly. I still really like the episode, but the boomerang is silly. But like watching back, I am just going to be thinking, a fucking boomerang did it. Clockwork Harley Quinn asks, better giant gorilla movie, Rampage or Kong Skull Island? Probably Kong Skull Island, but I'm not overly enthusiastic about either of them. I liked Rampage; it was fun. Probably the best movie you could ever make regarding the source material. Although the thing that kind of reminded me, that kind of stuck out to me about Rampage was that it needed an epilogue. Why didn't it have an epilogue? What was this? This was 104. So this is the area where I can't catch anything else. But where was was there even a place where I could catch stuff? Like, is there? I don't know. I'm not. Oh yeah, there is a patch press here. Bobas friend asks, "What's your favorite Chris Eccleston episode?" Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways. I did a rewatch a couple of weeks ago, and that was my favorite out of all of it. Clockwork Harley Quinn, Colin Farrell. Did I name the wrong Colin? Did I name the wrong person? If so, I do apologize. Alex Stewart asks, "Well, was Doctor Who rewatch on Facebook purely for Series 1, or will we be continuing it into subsequent series?" It was purely for Series 1, but I could do future ones just for fun. But the Doctor Who rewatch was for like a project I'm working on at the moment, and I needed to rewatch series 1 to like be reminded about it all. Alex Stewart says, "Oh no, sorry, wrong one." David Jerry, what's your opinion on the whole Count Dankula gas the Jews freedom of speech thing? Right, he's asking the softball questions there, David. Right, I don't know entirely the whole situation, but from what I can tell, so Count Dankula did a video where he like retrained his girlfriend's dog or pug to like do the Hitler salute and respond to commands like gas the Jews and stuff like that. And yes, it was for a joke, it was for comedy and stuff, but like it's not a funny joke. Like the dog responding to hate speech is the joke. And like I know it's a thin line and slippery slopes and stuff like that, but in the UK, like hate speech laws exist for a reason. And I'm obviously like people will be like, you just want to censor everybody and stuff like that, and censor people who disagree with you. And no, I'm okay with disagreements. It's just that comments about anti-Semitism and racism and stuff do cause like tangible, genuine harm to people. There's a reason after Brexit, hate crimes went up in the UK. He was fined £800. He could have had prison time. I probably shouldn't have had prison time. I disagree with him having prison time. And I know that he says like there was a clip of him being interviewed by reporters, and the reporter's like, reporter says, "You said gas the Jews. Like, what do you think that was appropriate?" And then Count Dankula, in response to the interviewer, says he says, "Oh, you've just said gas the Jews. See, context matters." It's like, I get the point you're trying to make, but that's such a the two don't equate. He was quoting you. You've essentially dodged the question while pretending that you're being a bastion of free speech. And of course, like Count Dankula is now appearing on like notorious alt-right streams and YouTube channels and stuff like that. So it's clear that he's found an audience. But no, I don't really have a stake in it. But I don't think it was like this whole cut and dry. He should and he shouldn't. It's a bit more complicated than that. Let's get to some more fun stuff. Casey Review says, favorite 12th Doctor episode. Probably Heaven Sent, but if you pair it up with Hellbent, it falls apart. So I like Oxygen. I like Thin Ice. But probably Flatline or Under the Lake and Before the Flood. Those were really good ones. Callum Rourke says, what do you think of the 80s TV show Rainbow? That's nostalgic. That's awesome. I need to swap that out. Oscar Tid says, you can't claim it's a joke and you don't believe those things and then pop up in those circles. Well, even if he necessarily does or doesn't believe in those things, that the fact that he has found like an audience with that crowd, it's if I were him, it would be a moment of self-reflection. It would be like, oh, if these people are like now backing me because of what I've said and done, maybe I should look at myself. Do you think that Doctor Who needs a new big bad? Maybe like, they probably do, but it's still when we had a new potential big bad with the Silence and the Weeping Angels, they got kind of messed up like with the subsequent appearances, and their gimmick became complicated and inconsistent. And DG votes that the memory worm is a reference to a Doctor Who creature. David Jerry asks, whose death is the best, Owen, Toshiko, or Yanto? Tough question. I like all of them. Although probably the Owen one got me the most, like his actual final proper death. Oh, okay, new route. And Yanto died in Children of Earth. Okay, what are we catching in this new route? A Whismer! Okay, folks, what are we, if we catch it, What are we calling our level 6 Whismer? David Jerry asks, do you think Chibnall will be competent to make an overarching plot like RTD? Maybe if that's the way he wants to go, if he is going for stuff like that, overarching plots, then after watching Broadchurch, he probably has a good handle on it. Oh shit. Do I go again? Don't kill it, don't kill it. Okay. Right, let's... Well, actually, how many... Okay. Okay, I've got 2 Pokeballs and a Great Ball and a Premier Ball. I'm going to need to buy more Pokeballs after this. But yeah, let's start suggesting Whismer names, folks. Let's get in the comment section. Gum. Pepto. Call it Eccleston, look at the ears. And to be fair, because Whismer's going to like evolve into a big like grey shouty thing, the Eccleston could be a good call. Can anyone else top Eccleston? And when it like does the uproar attack, we could all shout, "Don't touch the baby." Okay, I'm seeing no objections. So let's go for Eccleston. Eccleston was sent to the PC. Typecast. That would have been a good one. And a repel. Cool. Okay. I'm just thinking what could we replace it with? Bobber's friend says he's got to go now. But yeah, thank you very much for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Hopefully see you next time. Tom Monty asks, who's your favourite character in Midnight other than the Doctor and Donna? That's a really good supporting cast. I like I forget his name, the dad character, because he's like basically toxic masculinity, the character. But I actually recently worked with the actor who plays him. Is it Dan Ryan? I worked with him last year, and I was chatting with him, and he was like, "Oh, I worked in Doctor Who," and I was like, "Oh, who are you?" And he told me he was the guy in Midnight. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's that guy." And he said that like one of his favorite things about the experience was reading Doctor Who magazine when the episode was broadcast, and there was a picture of him in the episode dragging the Doctor towards the door as he's been possessed by the Midnight creature. And he said that, according to the Doctor Who magazine, he came the closest any other villain has to defeating the Doctor and killing the Doctor. And I thought that was a really clever point. So I've met the guy who nearly killed the Doctor. The pool is abstract. Yeah, the woman who becomes the monster, Sky. Yeah, I like Patrick Troughton's son, who's in the episode, Professor something. And why is it not memeable? But the moment where he says that you are nothing more than average at best, why is that not a meme yet? Dee Dee is cool. I like Dee Dee. But yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer to this question. Although with Midnight, with the hostess, and there's the scene at the end where the Doctor says the hostess, what was her name, and then Patrick Troughton's son says, "I don't know." They should have just left everyone silent in that scene. Like he doesn't even say, "I don't know," because that it's already apparent. And Jethro's mum, when everything's over and the Midnight creature is gone, and she says, "Oh, I said it was her," and the Doctor just looks at her and says, "Bitch, no, you didn't." And that's such like a great thing to do. I love Midnight. That's a great episode. Great run of episodes. The Library two-parter, Midnight, and Turn Left. What was the episode before Silence of the Library? Was it Unicorn and the Wasp? Which is it's a good story. But yeah, I would also add to that list The Stolen Earth. Stolen Earth is in my opinion, a great episode. Journey's End lets it down somewhat, but as an actual episode on its own, it's really, really great. And the introduction of the Daleks is genuinely scary. Hey, who turned out the lights? What do you think it would have been like if Donna was on the bus thing in Midnight? If Donna had been around in the bus on Midnight, that story doesn't happen because you have somebody in the Doctor's corner. But that's the whole. But that's one reason why that story works so well. Because the Doctor is once he's Tron 97, he's got to go. Thank you, thank you for coming along, Edward. Thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime. And I don't know if you already have, Edward, but check your emails. I did a patron request for questions and stuff like that. I know I answered a lot of them tonight, but still. Have a good night. What was I saying? Yeah, that because for Midnight, there's the great scene when they're at the back of the bus and talking about everything that's happening, and someone asks the Doctor, "What makes you so important?" And he says, "Because I'm clever." And that face he pulls because he blurts it out, and the people on the bus are just like, "Oh, well, so what are we then, idiots?" And it's such a understandable way they interpret that comment. And because I'm clever. That David Tennant's delivery in that episode is great. And one of his best moments of acting is when he is possessed by that creature, and he's got that petrified look on his face. I was captivated by that image when they put it in the Series 4 Part 2 trailer. Or was it? No, it was the Series 4 trailer in general, and it was the only clip they showed of Series 4 that took place after the Sontarans, the Poison Sky Sontaran stratagem. I don't know why that's important. Shamble, bobble, dibble, dooble, because I'm Batman clever. And yeah, Tom Monty says the Doctor doesn't do a very good job on that episode, and that's right. That's but it's not in a contrived way. He doesn't handle that situation well because the 10th Doctor is an egotist. He has a lot of self-confidence, and that's why if you had almost any other Doctor in that scenario, it might not have. It could have gone better. Unless you like Peter Capaldi, because he would have been like, "I'll do whatever I can to help your friend / pet." Yeah, Tom Monty, that Series 4 trailer is terrific. I'm not. I don't want to like tease videos that will never end up getting made, but it's something I've considered doing, like best Doctor Who trailers. And the trailer for Series 3 and the trailers for Series 4. I think between Series 3 and Series 6 Part 1 are where Doctor Who's marketing campaign was firing on all cylinders. And coincidentally, that's where some of the best viewing figures for the show came. I'm not saying the two are linked, but I just think it's an interesting observation. In Clockwork, Harley Quinn says, "Have you seen the full version of the Doctor's video to Martha from Human Nature?" Yes. The pairs comment is basically where that came from. I can't imagine any other Doctor in Midnight, maybe Eccleston. I think Eccleston would have handled it a lot better because there's the scene in Father's Day where he's like saying, "Oh, street corner, 2 a.m. I've never had a life like that." He would have empathized with the humans a lot more. I think he would have handled that situation better than Tennant. What's your favorite Tennant performance? Asks Oscar Tidd. Either like probably Midnight, but I love the Laws of Time, Our Mind speech from What Was a Mouth Like You. So that's a great one as well. He's great in the Sontaran two-parter as well. That's an underrated story, in my opinion. CTL Euro College asks, most anticipated film for the rest of 2018. I mentioned this earlier, but I know some new people have come into the stream since then. I mentioned Incredibles 2. I'm really looking forward to that. Rockets picked something else up. This is cool. Oh, shit. Imagine Colin Baker in Midnight. Oh, he would have. Oh shit! No, I've got to save Rocket. I'm just thinking of like previous Doctor Who trailers, and I think one of the most I never liked this line in the context of the episode either. But when he shouts, "I'm the Doctor and I save people," so that's such an uninventive line, and this Whisper's kicking the crap out of everything I'm sending out. Look how many Pokemon I sent out. Can we gush more about Infinity War, please? Yeah, let's go for it. I loved Doctor Strange in the trailer. By the way, if any of you folks have not seen Infinity War, let me know and I won't, do any spoilers. Rocket had a super potion. Pizza or tacos? Bring me Thanos. Who is Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why? Who is Gamora? Why is Gamora? That was great. But yeah, Tom Monty says no spoilers. So let's keep things spoiler free. Just for the sake, let's just be nice in the chat and not spoil anything, folks. But yeah, the Guardians. I won't spoil anything specific, but the Guardians were great. Apparently, James Gunn wrote their dialogue, and it comes across. But yeah, just a really good time. Squidward, yes. Also, no, that's fine, Tom Monty. No, it's all right. But stay through the credits when you do watch it. By the way, it's 11:30 in the UK. I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. At midnight, in about half an hour, that's when I'll wrap up the stream. That's 3 hours. I think that's fair. Tom, you haven't watched any Marvel movie past Civil War. Is there any particular reason for that? Like, not judging, watch movies however you want to, but like, are you planning on marathoning them? Have you just not? Are you not fussed, or what's the thought process behind that? Is it worth watching in between? Probably all of them. What is there post? Guardians is good. I like it. Not as good as the first. Black Panther's really good. Ragnarok's really funny. Out of all of the Phase 3 films out that you could skip, I would say Spider-Man: Homecoming. But it's not to say it's not without merit. It's fine. It's the perfectly adequate Spider-Man. Not a patch on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. Come at me, bros. But Mitchell Radford says, would you ever consider reviewing Game of Thrones? I've watched 3 episodes. Yeah, I need to watch it. Would you skydive for £1,000? Yeah. I double check the parachute. I honestly found Civil War to be a turn-off. It just felt the same as all the others. Civil War is probably, next to the original Avengers, probably my favorite. So I disagree, but whatever works for you. And yeah, when they release like 3 Marvel films a year, depending on what your viewing habits are, I can understand it being a bit tough to keep up. That's completely fair. But they're talking about maybe doing like 3 Star Wars movies a year, and it's like, no, don't do it. Yes, Poisoned. I want to try and get, before this stream ends in 25 minutes, I want to try and get Memory Worm to level 10. Get a Dustox. So if there were any films, if like for some reason you could only watch maybe 2 or 3 films before Infinity War, I'd say the most important ones are Guardians 2. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's one of the more important ones to watch. in terms of plot and understanding what's going to happen in Infinity War. And also Doctor Strange. Guardians, Doctor Strange, and Thor, I think, are the most important ones, because Black Panther is really good, but you probably could survive, like, you could watch Infinity War and not have any of those characters introduced to you beforehand. I think that's fair. Ragnarok, maybe have Ragnarok, if you, for some reason, you can't watch Ragnarok, maybe at least, like, look up a plot synopsis so you can see where all the characters are. Heimlich, I think we found our Pokemon that's going to help us get through the Roxanne gym. Yeah, Clockwork Harley Quinn says if you knew T'Challa from Civil War, you're fine. Same for Spider-Man, because Peter Parker in Spider-Man Homecoming doesn't really go through an arc or change or anything. So you can watch him at the end of Civil War, then it's the beginning of Infinity War, and you'll be caught completely up to speed. In my opinion, Infinity War and Civil War are better Spider-Man movies than Spider-Man Homecoming. Don't at me. I understand the what Alex Stewart's saying in regards to Doctor Strange, but I think visually and like the way that they did the traditional origin story, I think that justifies it from like, everything else really. Favorite MCU scene is probably um, the climactic fight of Civil War between Cap and Tony. That's great. I also it's like love the meeting of Cap, Thor, and Iron Man in Avengers. Lots to choose from. I don't care. He killed my mom. It's just a terrific line as well. And you know, I could do this all day. There's too many awesome ones to mention. So, without spoiling it, Infinity War has like 4. Oh, this is a new zone, by the way. We can catch something new here. Okay, we already have a Whismer. That's fine. It has 4 divergent plot branches, if that's the right term for it. But I think it's well balanced. I think it works. And it's not even a series finale. It is like in Doctor Who, you have the Pandorica opens, and then you have the Big Bang. Infinity War is the Pandorica opens. AC Review says, I think you can only catch Whismer in this cave. If that's the case, I'll be very disappointed. Oh, yes, Memory Worm is evolving. But if we do only catch a Whismer in this cave, somebody brought up another name, like Typecast. If we catch another Whismer, we can call it Typecast. You might be able to catch... So are there no Geodudes or Zubats in this cave? I'm not saying I want a Zubat, but you know. Memory Worm trying to learn Confusion. What a very fitting name for... So yeah, Tom, Infinity War, it is a part 1. It ends on a cliffhanger. But the next Infinity War movie is going to be released this time next year. Oh, there was something on my Facebook page, like my personal one. It was like a memory from 6 years ago when I posted an Avengers post for the original Joss Whedon Avengers, and it was like, blimey, this was That was 6 years ago. The next film does not currently have a title. I can't take down Wismer and next move. Katie reviews. I think I'd like to continue it. Maybe like do it in 3-hour bursts like this every couple of days until it's finished. Until I win or until I lose, whichever comes first. Shit and miss. Oh, by the way, I've just been reminded because he's just sent me a message on Facebook. Jamie, who appeared in a lot of my early reviews, he actually made a guest appearance in the last Nuzlocke I did. We did the Spider-Man video game movie together. He's appeared in my couple of my Mr. Taz reviews videos. He got married today. It was his wedding day. And if you're asking, Trilbee, why weren't you there? He got married in Bulgaria because that's where his now wife is from. So he got married in Bulgaria. So congratulations to Jamie in getting married. Okay, so so there was 2 Wismers in there. Folks, do we just carry on until we find something new, or what's this cave called? I'm going to quickly look this up. Rust Turf Tunnel. I'm going to see if you can get anything from here. 2 secs. Rust Turf Tunnel. The audio will have cut out because I would have swapped windows. Take a look. Yeah, you can only get Wismers in this cave. Okay. So, folks, do we get... Yeah, so we're not going to be getting anything original in this cave. Okay, I'm not bothered about getting another Wismer, to be honest. It would just take up space, and I think that kind of takes the fun out of the Nuzlocke. Like, oh, we lost our Wismer, let's just get another one. No, so let's not do that then. I like how we're confusing some people in the chat because we keep talking about the hybrid. Trust me, folks, trust me, guys, even in the context of Doctor Who, the hybrid never made sense. Okay, just for fun, might try and conquer the gym. That'll be a nice way to round up the ending of this. Let's get Rocket up front. Love the green smoke in the cave. Urdu Taco Bell. Nice. Ah. Tell me his name again. Hybrid. I put in on Facebook ages ago. I say ages, it was like a couple of weeks ago. Saying that if anyone wanted any like Mr. TARDIS reviews or Trilbee reviews merch or whatever, what would you want on a shirt? And the answer was unanimously the hybrid. what kind of jerk uses kids to weaken challenges in a gym? Poison Bailey. Tom Monty asks, Trilbee, what do you think of Missy as a character now that her story is over? I know you weren't a fan of her in Series 8. I still don't really see her as a master. Yeah, same. I didn't like her in Series 8. I liked... I like Michelle Gomez's performance was from the beginning great. The issue was never with her. She was great from beginning to end, and I think it was like even partially a bit inspired, her having like a Mary Poppins tinge to her. But she was just like kooky for the sake of being kooky, in my opinion. It was Stephen Moffat's just trying to like be super duper clever again, and not something I really responded to. Aren't they doing like a River Song versus all of the Masters? They're even bringing back Eric Roberts and the Master from the like from the Fourth Doctor era. Not Anthony Ainley, the guy who played him like when he was like run out of regenerations. Yeah, they're doing like a River Song and multi-master story with Michelle Gomez, Eric Roberts, Derek Jacobi, and something George Gregory. So it began with G. Haha, FX Sport. Jeffrey Beavers, that's the one. Yeah, thank you, Mitchell Radford. Okay, I'm thinking, do I try the gym now? I mean, Heimlich is tough, but can Heimlich single-handedly take down the Geodude and the Nose Pass? I'm Missy, short for Mistress. Well, you didn't think I'd keep calling myself the Hybrid. Well, one annoying thing that Stephen Moffat did during his era was like make these mysteries like, oh, who is Missy? Who or what is in the vault? But the answer was always going to be the most like the obvious one. Your Slakoth for my Makuhita. I have neither of those things. Like, okay, who is Missy? Well, of course she was going to be the Master or like some equivalent villain like the Rani or something. Or who is in the vault? Oh, it's going to be someone we already know, like Davros or Missy or like these are not good mysteries. Who has a Slakoth at Geo? I think you can get a Slakoth in the forest. I think a female doctor would have happened if a female master never happened. Probably not. No, probably not. But still, it happened. Okay. Actually, no. In the last Nuzlocke, I had a rule. Oh no, I've cocked up. I've already started talking to her. In the last Nuzlocke, I would go to the PC and deposit as many Pokemon as like so that I would be matching the gym leader. I know that Roxanne has 2 Pokemon, so I would have brought 2. Okay, let's try and take down Roxanne. Shit, level 14. Okay. No, I've not seen the Celine Dion Deadpool music video, but I've heard about it. I'm gonna check it out. Shit, Rock Tomb. Roxanne! Shit. Okay, well, Heimlich's gonna level up. Okay, let's try and take down Nose Pass. Okay, Stun Spore. Okay. Yes, Nose Pass is stunned. Hybrid! You don't have to put on that red light. That's really hurt my throat. Okay. But not in the name of the hybrid, Clara. Okay. I should have this in the bag now. Oh, wow. Nose Pass tanked that better than I thought she would. You are nothing more than a hybrid at best. Now shut up. Nose Pass's legs look like a... It does. Nose Pass's leg looks like a mouth. Yes, it does. Ocean. Okay, good. It's not a full restore or anything. I will always remember when the hybrid was me. Save hybrid Martha. Oh, you guys are awesome. I can't keep up with all of them in the chat. This is great. Oh, come on. This is just going to become a battle of attrition. You should have aimed for the hybrid. Nice. Out of context, nice. It goes ding when there's a hybrid. And there we go. Heimlich did do it. Yeah, go Heimlich. Laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. Hybrid, I let you go. So, I lost. It seems like I still have much more to learn. Yay, hybrid. I mean Heimlich. That's what I like to see. Receive the stone badge. Oh, that will be Rock Tomb. Some say that's when it all started. That's when the master saw the hybrid. And the shepherd's boy says, personally, I think that's one hell of a hybrid. Get out of the way. You are not a hybrid. Miss Hybrid. What is this chat become? You can tell it's nearly midnight. We're getting a bit delusional. Okay, what I'm going to do before we've got 5 minutes left. What I'm going to do is going to go to the Pokemart. and buy some more Pokeballs. Okay, so let's get into this cave. Who should we put up front? Baskerville up front. Blimey, as if Heimlich is at level 15, like so like head and shoulders above everybody else at the moment. I'm not a good man. I'm not a bad man. God knows I'm not a hero. I'm a hybrid. Basketball and sound attack. Yay, something totally useful. Well, what am I to do? We were on our walk, Pico and I, when we were jumped by an odd bug. The scoundrel made off with my darling Pico. Wah, Pico! Okay, we'll beat this team Magma guy, and then that'll be the end of the stream. What are you? What are you coming? Come and get some then. Grag, he called it all. That hostage Pokemon turned out to be worthless, and to think I made a getaway in this tunnel to nowhere. Hey, you, so you want to battle me? You, that's amazing. You want to see the hybrid? Okay, yeah, Tom Monty, thanks for joining us. Hopefully see you next time. You would make a good hybrid. There's a strange hybrid in my bedroom. Anything could happen. Oh, God. Ah, my career in crime comes to a dead end. I'll return the Devon goods, and then that's the end of the stream. Come on, shush. Oh yeah, because then I'm able to go on that guy's boat to get to the next gym. Long. Okay, this isn't working out. Run! Run! Speed up, speed up. There we go. I got a great ball. 900 years of phone box travel. I've never been slapped by someone's hybrid. Better train up Brad Bird for that gym. Yes, it's the fighting gym, isn't it? Hmm. The hybrid moment of the week. The hybrid moment of the week. I've always wondered how I'm going to do that with Peter Capaldi, because he's got way more syllables than Matt Smith. I'm going to skip all this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I think that's a good place to end it there, folks. I think I'm just going to make sure that I save. There we go. Okay, so now I actually have the saved game. That would have been the absolute worst thing ever. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me in this epic quest. So we caught 6 Pokemon. We conquered a gym with Heimlich single-handedly. So we've got Torchwood, Baskerville, Memory Worm, Rocket, Bradbird, Heimlich, and in the PC we have got Eccleston, who is a very shouty man. So thank you very much for joining me on this. Keep an eye out on my Facebook page and my Twitter when we do another one of these, probably in the next day or two. It could even be tomorrow, who knows? But thank you so much for joining me for this really fun ride. Massively appreciate you folks watching for 3 hours, and I shall see you folks next time.